The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
It's authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically and agonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Watch it. Watch those ballots. Watch what's going on. You don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that? To peacefully and patriotic vagina. They're eating the corn. They're eating the carrots.
You know, none of this is real, right?
You, sir, can eat a bag of dicks.
Give me liberty or give me death!
Baby, see you in the OnlyLands.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the OnlyLands. I'm excited to have some of you on tonight. One of you I'm not so excited about, but
I wonder who that could
Has
be.
Matt Trump been devoured by Chris Paul's void?
he may have been.
It's like the Langoliers.
Matt, do you
What's
realize
going
your
on
camera is not on?
It's not on.
All we see is a black screen.
Did you try unplugging it and plugging it back in, Matt?
That sometimes works, but sometimes I have to restart the computer.
Just press the camera and then press it again. Sometimes that works a few times.
It's dark. Is that it?
Yeah, it's just black.
You're just you're Chris
you're
Paul.
just cam right now.
Okay, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna switch over the audio. Video. You can hear me. All right.
Yes.
USB camera. I'm just gonna do my
I feel like I'm teaching my grandma how to use the remote control.
There he is.
There we go. So let's I just use my laptop camera. Sometimes the independent one craps out.
Oh man, good to see you. Good to have you here, man.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's good. I haven't seen you since Gart, and which I was just talking about on the show. I really had a really great show. I was talking about how I cured my Euro friend of TDS in a couple of emails.
Really?
And
Wow.
How'd you do that? Was that with self-disclosure?
Yes. It was the beard brush is it actually makes me feel good enough to actually convince people to support Trump, and also this thing. Jessica loves this. This is your tallow, the beef tallow. Oh my God!
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So yeah, and I just told them who Trump is. You got to tell. Here's what you have to do. You have to tell them who the enemy is, who are fighting, and lay it out. Say, well, this is what happened. This is how America was essentially captured by shadow government, when it was a concept that was not really in the American Republic at its beginning. Not explicitly, we had external control, but we didn't have like the calls coming from inside the house kind of stuff until after World War II, really.
What did you say how did he respond when you told him that we're fighting the conservatives?
I told him, I explained the Uniparty and all this. Nice. And so he was cool with it. But it turns out he didn't have TDS after all. He was saying, I can't come to the country while the orange dude is in office. And I was like, weird. I took that to mean, he's got TDS. When he's usually a very laid back guy. And he was above politics. But so I was taking him off. I was like, that sucks. But that he might have TDS. But he didn't actually have TDS. He was just neutral. But he's like a neutral normie.
So you misdiagnosed.
You didn't actually cure him. Yes.
Yeah.
But he did have a form of it in that he felt comfortable saying the orange dude. And it's like I can believe that the people around him, his friends, and the Americans that go over to France and toady up to the Euros and like, we hate him too, that kind of stuff. He's used to that, so he might adopt that as a default register in a way.
Does he know that you are besides your last name, a Trump guy?
He didn't, but I had to say I got to tell him I am.
How close were you with this guy?
I voted for him 3 times, and I'd vote for him again in a heartbeat. And then I had to, but then I said, here's who his enemy is. Here's who our enemy is. Here's what's going on. And I did focus on the city of London because I knew as a Frenchman that would catch his ear. And it did. He's like, what is this city of London? That was his reply. I need to know about this. This is amazing. Everything you said. I got it. He was going down the rabbit hole in real time.
There's these very old ladies on YouTube, and they're gonna tell you everything about it while farming your comment sections.
Exactly.
Even though they're out viewing you.
It is interesting that their default was to assume that it would land with you talking about that orange dude. That kind of tells you what the foreign assumption about what America is.
And I used to be a lefty too. Last time he visited me.
Matt's an intellectual, so you would assume that. There's a lot of Canadians who, I wasn't like a full-on Trumper when I was first going up to Canada. Started going up there in 2012, and in the middle of my liberal disillusionment. So I was getting some of that back in the 2016, 17, 18 era, where Canadians who knew me were like, man, Trump is real crazy and everything. I'd be like, actually, I think he's kind of great. And that would always take them aback because they would just assume like you're one of the reasonable Americans.
In my house, you would suddenly get a chorus from my daughters and my wife going, naturally. That's the that's the rebuttal I get to every time someone says something and I have a legitimate actually. I get that actually. I don't even wear glasses either. It's obnoxious. That's what children and wives are for.
So your children say you're a contrarian.
Oh yes, absolutely.
What's up, Ghost?
Ghost, can you stop shilling your
Ghost?
show? Jeez,
What's up, dude?
man. Just
No, chill again. The background's awesome. The new
rolling in.
Yeah, you like that?
Great. I do.
Yeah, it's
Jessica's
a
been
good.
killing it.
Jessica's been killing it. It's pretty dope. I like
Did you
it.
see our new background?
Yeah. The OnlyLands one is sweet.
Oh,
Isn't that
nice.
cool?
Oh, we
Yeah.
can have her do that. We can have her make backgrounds.
Well, we can, but you're not quite to that level yet. But
All right.
maybe
Let me
one
know
of
when
these days.
let me know when I am.
Yeah, I got
Yeah, we can have her do that for you. She actually, if you paid attention to that chat, she offered to redo thumbnails.
I did. I feel bad like making work for people, but
Well, they are getting paid to do it, so take advantage.
Okay. Noted.
Yeah, man.
Like
J-Trade, how you doing, man? I haven't talked to you in
I know.
a little while.
I called you last week. Never
I
heard
know.
back, but that's all right. That's all right.
I
expect
did
it from
forget.
you.
We do need to catch up though.
Yeah, let's talk this weekend.
Yeah, but that was not my fault. That was Ty and JC's fault.
And I did acknowledge that was probably the case. So,
I'm pretty sure it
did
was
you have
the
a
4th
nice?
of July.
Did you have a nice time with them? Did they have a nice visit?
Yeah, it was a really good visit. It was awesome.
Is it possible
Good
to have
people.
a
Still
bad
be
visit
there.
with Ty and JC?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, and my kids enjoyed them. Like,
Cool. Yeah,
they were just like family. It was great.
they are like family. They're good people. One of our Badlands success stories
Hell
as
yeah.
far as love goes. There's
Maybe the only
few
one.
not so successful.
But-
Perhaps.
We have a few.
But yeah, you know what?
Not many.
In keeping with Matt's theme, I had a really encouraging conversation last night. I have a buddy, one of my best friends. We were roommates in college, went to high school together, but he's very conservative, but normie conservative, fights me every tooth and nail whenever I bring up the uniparty stuff. And he was out last night. We went out to dinner, and he started telling me about how he just really loves how Trump is like resetting the global order, and creating these sovereign nations. He was really high on Poland. He was talking about, I didn't see the clip, but I guess the prime minister of Poland was talking about like kind of Poland first stuff. I said, yeah, well, that's going on all over the world. And I was giving him some of, the stuff we talk about a lot. And it was amazing though, because I didn't have to prompt any of it. He just came right out and he's like getting it. He's seeing the brilliance of Trump, and he was even using terms like 4D chess and stuff like that. I told him it's actually 5D if you really hip the
That's
stuff.
true. You get him in the door with the 4D, and
Don't
then
shortchange him a D.
you say, "Bite the pillow, bitch." We're going 5D chess.
Yes.
That's how you got to do it. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I think that there's a it's interesting. There's a Bitcoiner, Jack Mallers, who's a young gun, but he often references his father and all the pearls of wisdom his father gave him about financial markets. His dad was actually the guy who got him into Bitcoin, and then Mallers became one of the biggest voices in Bitcoin. Probably has tens of thousands of Bitcoin.
Right
Doesn't
next to
need to work
G-Money.
the rest of his life. Yeah. And anyway, one of the quotes he attributes to his father is, markets will either scare you out or wear you out. And, because his dad was always a first principles fundamentals investor, right? Like, find something that you think makes sense and just then turn off everything about that thing, buy that thing, and then, ride it and profit. And I've been thinking about that quote all week in terms of Trump and the Iran war and everything. I posted a link in the Badlands chat earlier about that the Atlantic, who I've said is, they're kind of taking the place, Ash and I were talking about this, they're kind of taking the place of Politico and some others. They're really the prime signal setter right now. They're getting ahead of the establishment narratives. And they posted a article today that was basically acknowledging the fake war. They said that they called it Schrodinger's. They referenced Schrodinger's, which we have referred to it as Schrodinger's war. That's been out there. And for months and months, especially on DPH, we've talked about, Trump seems to be the guy most willing and eager to keep the loop of the Iran war going, the narrative of it. And I think it's related to what we're all talking about in terms of normies it's not the wake up the normies thing, but there's something going on where Trump keeps restarting a bombastic fake war and then ending the bombastic fake war every week now, to the point where markets, for the first time this week, I pointed this out on Wednesday's DPH, Trump announced the war was back on Monday. Futures markets got spooked on Monday. By Monday evening, the markets were back. Nothing changed in the news. Nothing changed in the news cycle at all. So you're at the point now where the actual financial markets are not acknowledging the real fake war. And I think that's going on a little bit with Normieville too, where people who were super scared and mad about this are now just like, whatever. It's the same fakeness.
Nobody wants to talk about financial markets on OnlyLands, so
Well, I was relating it to fake wars and
yeah.
You know. Anyway, Trump either scares you out or wears you out. So you guys are bringing up normie Europeans. There's normie, I think that's happening a little bit where people are getting scared out of being anti-Trump, or they're getting worn out and just going like, I don't fucking know. Are we even at a war? Who cares anymore? What's the price of gas?
Ask CanCon. Where's CanCon at? It's gone up like 40 cents or something. Not quite that much, but like 10 cents. I think it's up to 388 national average. He was way off. Can we acknowledge that the last time I was on OnlyLands, I'm pretty sure it was that episode where CanCon shit the bed and half the people watching agreed with him?
Well, you're never on OnlyLands.
Was this the gas going to be $2.50 on 4th of July?
240.
240.
Or yeah, 240.
Yes, the national average discussion. So
the infamous one.
It was an infamous one.
What was it?
What was that?
What was the national average on the 4th of July?
The national average on the 4th of July was about $3.80.
Okay.
So, by the way, guys, John and I said on
nailed it.
9, like.
I agree with John's assessment because I'm seeing that we've already got like 11 gifted subs tonight. So thank you to Snowcat, The Final Demand, and Grease Monkey. But comes with a major caveat.
Does it though? I know you're going with
Yes, it does, Drake.
Real Miss Bright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got gifted a sub.
I didn't even. You know what? Actually, this doesn't matter. It's like it was kind of just we were being silly on Wednesday night.
Don't go dog-hatting back now. Like
not only is she your wife, but she's on the payroll.
Yeah,
and she's.
This is also international money laundering because she is not in the country right now.
Oh my goodness! I am flummoxed.
John's new kind of thing is that the people who are gifting the subs are great. Like those are Badlands maxis. The people who are being gifted the subs, it's like you're getting a shame cap put on you because you weren't supporting us before. And did you guys hear? Chris Paul was gifted a sub last night while on the show.
Yeah, that happens more often than you think.
It happens to me like
creators.
Every month.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, look at that real Miss Bright.
I don't support Badlands.
But thank you so much for those who gifted the subs. You are truly appreciated.
Okay, do we know that for sure though? Like that means they weren't actually subscribed, or isn't it that it just covers their month?
No,
I think it means you weren't subscribed.
Pretty sure that's what it means.
Well, you weren't like paying. I mean, I think you subscribed to the channel for free, right? And then you paid money.
Well, I need to go in and check because I thought I'd set it up to be a paid subscriber like years ago, and then
after 12 months, after 12 months, it only lasts 12 months, and then you have to go in and like redo it again. That was confusing a lot of people.
Here's the proof from earlier there's no red thing behind Miss Bright's name here, so I wonder if it shows up later.
Well, she's pretty quiet right now. She might have fallen asleep.
Somebody call FinCEN if she's laundering money in Canada.
She probably did fall asleep while you were talking financial markets. I bet that's what happened.
So Black Hat Destroyer says Chris was gifted a sub 2 weeks ago. Well, then that throws some cold water onto this theory because last night during Story Hour, he was also gifted a sub.
I feel like his timing of the 2 weeks ago is probably off.
2 weeks ago was June. That was a different month. Just saying. Yeah.
That is how time works.
Thank you, Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Now, do you think the Oppenheimer Ranch Project is trying to like build a ranch nuclear bomb? Like, do you think that's what that is?
Kind of sounds like it.
Probably powered by methane.
Are we speaking about like Hidden Valley Ranch or what? Like what kind of ranch?
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Pepperidge Farms.
Cal fart bomb. Nice, Drake.
Thank you.
Oppenheimer Ranch Project.
There's a countdown too. Look.
Boom.
No. Getting a little sketchy.
Ooh, Keith O'Higgins.
Gifted subs are just like herpes, the gift that keeps on giving. So true. Speaking of that, I wonder if soft disclosure can cure herpes because it's curing so many other skin disorders.
You should try it.
We should look into that. We need to find somebody with herpes. Anybody in the chat have herpes? Want to volunteer?
Just raise your hand.
Don't everyone jump up at once.
Okay, real quick. Let's get we have 2 sponsors tonight. I want to get one of them in now, and then we'll get the other one later. And then Ghost, I haven't done a show with you in forever, so you should think of something to talk about.
I got some good stuff.
He doesn't talk about much.
Exciting, fun stuff.
This kid.
Yeah, but I have some exciting, fun stuff too.
Okay. No financial markets.
Can't be about
the Happy Fun Ball.
If I can find our sponsor, do we have Native Path Collagen in here? Oh shoot. Okay, somebody stalled for me. I have to download it.
Let it be known, Mrs. Wright is sending me sappy memes rather than responding to the allegations publicly.
Sappy memes or savvy memes?
Sappy, like heartfelt. She misses me, is what's going on.
Wow. Are you sure that's what it is?
Yep. She talks a lot of shit publicly.
Has she asked about your dog more than she's asked about you?
It's kind of the wife you want.
She actually
you want a wife
hasn't
who
asked
sends
about
you
the
memes.
Oh, wow.
You said your wife sends me memes?
No, I said that's the kind of wife you want. You want a wife that sends you memes. I mean, that sounds like the ideal wife. That's like a trad wife.
I didn't know you knew about that, man.
Sending you memes.
So dumb. Okay, the video's almost loaded. But I do want your wife to respond in the chat so we can see if she has the red thing next to her name now.
I know.
See if our theory's been proven right. But okay, Native Path Collagen. Let's do this. This episode is brought to you by Native Path Grass-Fed Collagen for better bones, joints, skin, hair, and nails. Here's something that genuinely surprised me. Calcium supplements, the ones millions of people take for bone health, may not be doing much at all because bones are 90% collagen, not calcium. Without the collagen scaffold to attach to, calcium has nowhere to go. That's where today's sponsor comes in. After 30, our bodies produce 1 to 2% less collagen every single year. That's the protein that keeps our bones dense, joints cushioned, and skin firm. By 60, most people have lost half their collagen, and it's nearly impossible to get it back through diet alone because it lives in the parts of the animal we don't eat. The bones, the cartilage, the tendons. Native Path Grass-Fed Collagen is a clean, grass-fed type 1 and 3 collagen that dissolves completely in coffee or water. No taste, no clumping. Thousands of customers report less joint pain, stronger nails, younger looking skin, better sleep, and even improved bone density scans. For the special offer and free shipping, head to getnativepath.com/badlands. That's getnativepath.com/badlands. You can try risk-free with a 365-day money-back guarantee. There we go. I had the fire department show up at my house tonight.
Ooh.
That was exciting.
Okay.
Why?
Was your firewood the wrong geometry?
No.
Bachelorette party?
No, you guys can keep guessing though. I'll see who gets closest.
Did your kid accidentally call 911? Because that's happened to me.
No, I don't have my kids this week.
Did Ty climb a tree and get stuck up there?
No, Ty's not here anymore.
Oh.
That's a great guess, though.
I thought I had nailed it. I would have bet anything that I nailed it.
Yeah, no. We were downstairs watching. I think we were eating supper, watching a show on TV or whatever, and I hear the beep that the fire alarm is like the battery's dying.
Oh.
And so I was trying to figure out where it was, and like going around the house looking for wherever this beep is coming. And it sucks. You have to like wait. Like beeps once, and you have to wait like a minute, yes. minute and a half, and you're just like waiting to hear the beep. Then you run to the next one and waiting to see if it beeps. And so I'm upstairs, and there's 3 alarms like consecutively right next to each other. Okay, and the beep is coming from one of them, and I thought it was the middle one, and so I go and take that off, and all of a sudden, like a whole bunch of alarms start going off, and I get a phone call and text messages, and my mom and dad both calling to like see what's going on, and I answered the number that I didn't realize was the security company, and they're like, "Yeah, so we have got an alert that your carbon monoxide thing is going off, and so just wanted to check and see if you're okay." And the fire department's on their way. And I was like, "Oh, I just unplugged the thing on accident. Like, you can tell them to go back." And he's like, "Well, it's procedure. They have to come." So they like showed up and they came in and did the carbon monoxide test, and then they left. But it was just because I unscrewed the carbon monoxide thing on accident.
Shit. Didn't even give you a strip tease or anything?
No.
Wait, why did they call your parents? So like the security company called your parents, or
Yeah, so I have them as
Oh, is it like your emergency contact?
Yeah, so they both get notified if there's anything. Because if like I'm out of town at a guard or something and somebody tries breaking in, want somebody to be notified.
Sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So
damn. So like you just when you unplug it calls it the alarm company.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It was
at least they're Johnny on the spot, man. I mean, at least they're doing their job.
Well,
yeah. The funniest part about it was he said it was their third call today for like
same type of call
for carbon monoxide thing.
I kind of wish that had happened to you during the show so we could laugh about your thing chirping.
Oh,
I've been ranting for years and years about why I don't replace my smoke alarm batteries under pain of death, and it's because
yours are all wired together, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what's horrible.
Yeah.
It would actually be a good time to change them all because I'm having self-induced electrical problems this week. So I should probably just swap them all out.
You should talk about that with everybody.
How's the demo going?
Not great.
No?
Well, it's getting better. If my dad's watching, even though it was his fault, he's a great guy, and he figured it all out afterwards.
I just want you to know how much I love my dad before I say what I'm about to say.
Did he hit a pipe? Did he hit a pipe?
No, he hit some wires. And so I was at Home Depot for like an hour and a half getting a bunch of stuff. I'm just like being the gopher and the laborer. So I'm, trying to connect with, the lessers, like the Brazilians, the Mexicans, the laborer kind of, ghost knows job sites. Like it's never the white boys that are laboring these days. You need some wetbacks for that. But I'm doing some classic Irish white boy laboring for my dad because I don't know how to do anything. So he's just like, go get me all this stuff. And it's pretty funny when he's explaining to me like, yeah, I need this thing. That's a word I've never heard before. I'm like, I don't know what that is, Dad.
Screwdriver?
He's like, yeah, it's kind of like this other thing, but it's more like this other thing. I'm like, I haven't heard of those two things either. So
like, what have I done?
Yeah, he's like, so what today we had a back and forth about a hole saw, but he meant HOLE saw, and I was like, what kind of saw? And he was like, a hole saw. And I was like, I know, Dad. I know you want an entire saw.
The whole thing.
You're talking about the drill bit.
Yeah. But I was like, what kind of saw? The whole thing. I'm like, I know you want the saw. And I was like, the whole saw or just the blade? And he was like,
you had
he was like, the blade, the whole saw blade. And I was like, oh my God. That doesn't make any sense. And then he finally explained, I'm trying to drill a hole and I need an HOLE saw in order to do that. Yeah.
I think you were retarded. Like, at what moment did he realize how dumb you were?
Yeah, I think in that moment, like, there's been plenty of disappointing moments probably for him as a dad. And I think that one, he was just like, but he kind of got himself, he played himself. Because I was out there in the wild searching for whole saws. I brought the wrong one back, but then I got the right one on the second trip. And when I got back, I was like, how's it going? He was like, not good at all. He was like, so I broke the like number one rule of sawing into stuff. And that is to look on the other side of the beam that you are sawing into, and he went right through two wires. So that that caused a bit of an issue where we were like, what stuff in my house doesn't work now? And he did rewire them himself and got it all back together. But then we had a secondary issue where nothing was working still. He was like, I swear I friggin' threaded these right. Luckily, my brother-in-law is an electrician. We called him, and over the phone, he was explaining how our trip system, like our circuit system, is super gay, and how it gets really finicky, and you have to like intentionally trip it a bunch of times after you've fixed the wiring in order to convince it that everything is okay.
Do you have this kind of standard breakers, like the Square D style breakers, that like switches?
We do, but there's this thing. There's like a I don't even know what there's like a GFI thing on the main breaker.
Yeah, that's what's called GFI thing.
That is what he was saying is super finicky in the type that we have, because even though everything had been turned back on, we had to like reset every GFI in the house. and then the main breaker won, and then turn all the power off, and then turn it all back on, and it worked. But yeah, anyway.
You had a situation there where life imitates art. You were literally just living out the Sandlot scene where he's like, how can I have some more if I haven't had any yet? How much?
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Well, you're making fun of the Brazilians and the Mexicans, but I was always the low man on the totem pole, the white boy who was doing the worst.
They were making you labor.
That's
against our fundamental rights, Ghost.
But I mean, tearing apart bathrooms, man, like that's the fun part. So it's not fun when you cut through wires, but busting up tile, busting up plaster and lath and all that good stuff.
Speaking of not paying attention what's behind something that you're drilling, I have a more gruesome story of that. A friend of mine was working on his house. Like it wasn't me, thank God. But a friend of mine was working on his house. They're drilling through the joist to run wires, and the guy was like leaning, instead of moving the ladder over, he just like hooked his arm over a joist and then was drilling through and didn't even think about the fact that his forearm was on the other side of like one of those spade bits, and it punched through and went right into his arm and like got all like tangled up in his tendons and shit. And then like,
oh my God,
he's stuck there like this, like hanging off the ladder. And yeah, like always look on the other side. Like in wood carving and stuff, I follow the principle of like, if you're pushing a chisel and it were to suddenly keep going, is your body in that path? And if so, move it.
Yeah, bro. It's called a blood circle, bro.
Yeah,
it's a blood circle. You got to make sure your blood circle's clear.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a Boy Scout thing. It's a Boy Scout thing. So if you're a nerd and you're a Boy Scout, then
when you're sacrificing Boy Scouts, that's what you make a blood circle out of them.
Yeah, everyone form a circle. Everyone form up.
Yeah, but you know what happens on these projects where we're like, all right, we've mapped it out. It'll probably take like 4 or 5 days, and then day 2 is just gone from a self-inflicted issue that we were working on, and by we I mean my dad was yelling at me, being like, "Turn it on now," and I'm like, "It's still not working, Dad." And then he was very upset, but he was more so just embarrassed that he had done that.
It's probably more embarrassed you know what a whole saw was, but
yeah.
Are you on track to get the bathroom finished?
Eventually,
like before Miss Bright gets back.
When is she coming back?
Monday night.
It sounds like maybe if she's listening, maybe she's going to push that in a couple days.
I think it's definitely possible that it could happen. I'm confident half the bathroom will be back. The other half, we'll see.
It won't be a whole bathroom.
Well, you have a bathtub.
If you used a whole saw, you'd have the whole bathtub done.
Yeah. The new bathtub is not in yet. I mean, we have it with us, but it's it's so stupid. The previous owners had this giant jacuzzi tub that they had never hooked into electrical, so it never worked. So it was just a giant jacuzzi tub
just for
with
looks.
Jets that didn't work.
That's just teasing you.
Yeah. And they built this like ornate custom woodwork, skirt around the whole thing.
It's a conversation
into
piece.
The walls. Yeah. So we ripped that whole thing out because we were like, this is half of the square footage of this bathroom. And Mrs. Bright's like leaning over this thing, 1.5 foot lip on the tub to bathe the kid. So I'm like, let's just put one of those, freestanding tubs in. Figured it'd be easy. My dad's like, it's not going to be that easy, but sure, fine. So ripped it all out. He's like, we got to redo the plumbing.
And the flooring.
Redo the base flooring. Then we got to put, we're going to retile the whole thing and all that kind of stuff. But it's going to it's not really about the tub. It's about getting like 30% more square footage in the bathroom. And
for activities. For activities.
Coloring and the like. Yeah. But it is kind of crazy though, even though my dad made a rookie mistake I would never have made in terms of cutting those wires. He was a merely plasterer. But yeah, he can just like do anything. So he's like, I rewired.
It's a lost art
thing.
Plastering is a lost art, so yeah. Well, speaking of Mexicans, John was asking about like interesting topics. I am like tickled pink because I learned today that Raul Castro, who is his nickname is the Crab, El Cangrejo, actually does have like a claw for a hand. Because
I thought you already knew that because you were talking.
No.
Were you saying you wish he would?
Months ago, I said I wish he did, and I saw a picture of him, and he looked like a totally normal dude. He's like 40. He's like 44 or something like that.
Oh,
and
he has a claw for a hand?
He was born with 6 fingers on one hand, and he had like a bunch of surgery. So he has 2 thumbs. I think it sounds like he has 2 thumbs on one hand.
His name is
3 thumbs up.
Is it like a James Bond?
He has 2. I think he has 2 thumbs on one hand. So he has like a messed up hand. It's like a misshapen hand. He had like
evolution.
He had like 3 surgeries by the time he was 8 years old. And the only reason we learned this is because he did his first interview like 2 days ago or 3 days or whatever, a few weeks ago, but it aired or it was published 2 days ago with USA Today. It was his first public interview ever. And like the interview,
what's this guy's name?
Raul Castro. He's going to become the leader of Cuba. He's the he's the grandson of Raul Castro, like who was the president of Cuba, and then who was the brother. That guy's the brother of Fidel Castro. So this guy's like in negotiations with Trump. Marco Rubio said that he's been doing back channels with him. This guy is going to become the leader of Cuba, 100%. And everyone's head's going to explode when this happens. They're like, the Castros are back in power.
Yep.
But the point is that, we've been doing Trumpomania now for a couple of years, and everyone has these great stage names. Like you have El Tigre now in Colombia. He's going to become the president of Colombia. When I learned this guy's name was the Crab, I was like, I really hope that he actually has earned this name somehow. And then I was disappointed when I saw a picture of him and his hand looked fine. I mean, it was from a distance. It was from a distance, and his hand was kind of hidden. And then it said in this article that he actually got the name from his grandfather, the president of Cuba. When he was born, he started calling him El Cangrejo because he had 6 fingers on one hand. And I was like,
see the
what?
2 thumbs on one hand. That's amazing.
That's very Latin American.
Yeah. So, I know. I mean, I need to see we have to see a picture of this. But in my personal opinion, this guy has just rocketed up the power rankings of world leaders because not only does he have a cool nickname, but he lives up to the nickname. It's like Game of Thrones when you have like the Hound and the Mountain and whatever. Like this guy actually lives up to his nickname. So it's badass. And
I can't wait till Trump shakes his hand.
There was a Happy Days character called the Claw in one episode where Fonzie had to fight him.
Well, see, like I was hoping he had like one giant, really fat finger and a thumb. Like that's what I was hoping it was. And then I saw the picture and it was like, oh, his hand looks pretty normal from a distance. But it turns out he has 2 thumbs.
This is why you guys need to read the Badlands brief if you have not been reading it. So Ghost in once a week at least for the last 6 months, anytime Cuba comes up, has been like in between his spurging out over the Jews and all that and being super serious and being like, we got to take this country back. Like his takes are always extremely fiery. And then he'll have the Cuba take and he'll be like, but if we don't get a crab, something to do with the crab or the claw out of Castro, then this is a giant missed opportunity in Trumpomania. He's been saying it for like 6 months. So
yes. So I was reading through this article today on my show and did not see the part when I glanced at it before, like where the interviewer goes. The interviewer goes, he hid his hand behind his back self-consciously, his like disformed hand. And I was like, oh my God. And then it went on to explain that like where he got his name and how he had 2 thumbs and he had all these surgeries. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like he should not be ashamed of that, by the way. Like he should be like that is like some mafia kind of shit. He's the Crab and he has like a claw for a hand. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
It probably depends what it looks like, whether or not I should be ashamed of it. BB, was it Ghost that one time that wanted to like put something super, like we should start a revolution, get out your muskets or something? Or was that Ash?
Ghost, I don't think.
I think it was Ash.
It was Ash.
It was Ash.
2020. Right. I don't know when we started doing the brief. Like
it was a while ago, like back when we first started.
Yeah, I think it was. Well, I know it was Ash. I don't think. I'm trying to think if it was also Ghost, but I don't think it was ever Ghost. With Ash, I had to warn her like 2 or 3 times that first year where I was like, listen,
We love you.
You can't say stuff like that.
Well, Burning Bright's definitely said stuff to me like, you can't say stuff like that. And it had to do with
I've told Ghost to edit takes before I put them in, but I haven't had to do that in a while.
Yeah, so we don't get arrested.
It was something. Well, it was something to do with. No, this was when Virginia. This was years ago, before anybody was talking about this. When Virginia did the first state to do the anti-Semitism hate speech laws, and I basically was like, in my take, I was like, yeah, well, Jason Miyares, come and arrest me then for talking
like
shit
come and
about
get
Israel.
it or something. Like
yeah, come and get it, Miyares. And Miyares is a Republican. You know, he was Glenn Youngkin's guy. But it's like, yeah, Miyares, and he's Cuban, by the way. Yeah, Miyares, come and get me, because I am definitely going to continue to talk. Not only am I going to talk shit about Israel, I'm going to talk more shit about Israel now that you've made it illegal.
We have let you talk your shit about Israel, Ghost. So don't ever say that.
Oh no,
of
course.
No, that and yours was pretty soft. Now I remember that. Like I was like, hey, this is borderline, but we don't need to say that. Ash is, I believe, I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like, it's time to pick up the muskets. And I was like, no, we're definitely not going to post that in our, all
the woman in the group was the one who was the most based.
And I told her like a year after that, which, John can confirm because I'm a suspicious fella. Yeah. I did not trust Ash when
because
she
of that
came.
one thing. Yeah.
Well, I didn't trust her before that.
Because she was a woman first, yeah.
Well, yes, de facto, also where she came from. But I, or at least where I had heard of her from, another outlet. And I had her in my on Fed Watch, that's where I joke about these things that are not jokes at all. So, Alpha remains on Fed Watch. He is well aware he is on Fed Watch. CanCon
have a
was
meeting
removed
with
from
Taylor tonight. Is that what why he's
yes,
not here? Okay.
Obviously. I mean, CanCon was removed from Fed Watch in like 2023 and has not been back. Ash though was on and off Fed Watch for a while, and I had just taken her off Fed Watch, and then she did that in the brief, and I was like, I know that like it stinks. Everybody's getting sued these days, but calling for violence against the federal government is not the greatest idea for people to do. And obviously that's still wasn't calling for violence, but there's just no need.
An F-15 anyway. A musket's not going to help you. So
yeah. And it was in reference. It was like in the context of a take about the Revolutionary War and all that kind of stuff. But, you got to operate in the battle space you're in, as Rich Higgins would say. And we know what these people are looking for, especially that was during the Biden regime, right? During our boy Blue. So,
yeah, well, so this brings up another good story from the geopolitics cycle this week. The NATO summit, Erdogan gave out these pistols, these like custom, like really nice revolvers, and he like loaded them and put them and they came loaded in the presentation box. The case or whatever. And so all the European leaders like freaked out when they got them. Some of them didn't even realize they had been gifted a revolver. They like went home and like Mark Carney was like, don't worry, I gave it to the airport police when I realized that I got a revolver. Like all these guys are huge pussies. They like literally they handed all their guns over to the police and they put out rhetoric to being like, don't worry, I never actually touched the gun. And it's like, this is why nobody respects you. Nobody respects you because this is the way you act.
Do you think he gave it to him loaded so that they could just take themselves out?
Yeah. He was sending them a message. He was sending them a message.
Feel free to use it.
A loaded gun, though.
Man on Fire. Denzel gives what's his name? Gives him the gun with a bullet.
Yeah,
I've actually never seen that movie.
Ooh. It's a good movie.
Story hour.
Good movie.
I was watching it last week.
Solid movie. Sweet gift though. I mean, that's an awesome gift. Apparently, Carney last year, because they hosted it in Canada last year, gave maple syrup. So just for context of like how lame some of these gifts are. I mean, custom like engraved revolvers, like that's a pretty badass gift.
Well, was the maple syrup bottles custom engraved? That's the question.
I doubt it. I mean, it's Canada, so I doubt they're going balls to the wall for that, but maybe.
Do you know they have a strategic maple syrup reserve? That's real.
The Americans have their cheese. We're gonna have our syrup.
Yeah.
Is it underground? Like, how does this thing work? Is it like a giant septic tank?
I don't know, but I think, in the golden age, the cost of petroleum will come down to its, street value, and that sweet Vermont nectar will probably be worth more.
They're holding out for
that's when
maple syrup powered cars.
The syrup crude oil ratio, when we get the death cross between those two, we'll know that either syrup has become very expensive or things are going pretty well.
Is Miss Bright real particular about her maple syrup? Like, can she only?
I'm more particular about it.
Really?
She will not eat like fake syrup, like American syrup, but I would not do that before I met her. I grew up. If you grow up having real syrup, real maple syrup, like my dad, every Sunday made pan-fried pancakes, just the best pancakes ever. I, to date, make the best pancakes ever, even my dad says. And I grew up having, New Hampshire and Vermont maple syrup. I personally like New Hampshire maple syrup, even though Vermont maple syrup is more famous. But yeah, if you go from that to like corn syrup with caramel coloring, oh my God. I would go to my cousin's houses and I'd be like, what are you eating? What is this? This is goop. This is like sugar goop. And
it's a goyslop.
Yep. So yeah, maple syrup, I'll spend $15 on a bottle of that crap instead of 99 cents on some Aunt Jemima. Although they're not calling it Aunt Jemima these days, right? What is it now?
No, they just took her picture off, right?
Yeah, they took her picture off.
It's Ash's in the chat. She says we're all a bunch of pussies. So, and I respect that because I've been saying this week about how I've been on a high horse about how calling another man a pussy these days, it's just not done. It's a lost art. Speaking of lost arts, it's just
is it really
forever?
We just don't call each other pussies enough, and that's why I think the world's gone soft. Is men are not called pussies enough and shamed for it.
What do you think I've been doing this whole time? I've been around here. I'm trying
I think
to clean it up lately.
Yeah. I don't think we're really in touch with what's gone out. We've never, we kind of use all those terms without interruption.
Yeah.
Sometimes I really do have to catch myself sometimes at work, because I use retarded all the time. And I get some looks from some of my patients like, did you just say the R word?
Especially when they're in that vulnerable state post-coccyx adjustment.
Exactly.
They're like
or even more vulnerable
adjustment.
Yeah, on Juneteenth, I was doing a show and I said like Happy Juneteenth, like tongue in cheek, and I said, but more importantly, Happy Father's Day because that's this Sunday. And then later, like Mrs. Ghost heard me say this from the other room, and she was like, "I heard you say that." She's like, "You gotta be really careful about saying that. You're gonna piss off a lot of people." Because she comes from like a much more corporate world where it's like people actually care about that crap. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like Juneteenth? Like, do people actually care about Juneteenth? Is that actually a thing? Like is that even a real holiday? Like, yeah, I mean,
apparently.
Did you show our Juneteenth ad?
Yeah,
that's so good.
Juneteenth National Independence Day.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying the significance of like freeing the slaves. I'm just saying it's like the like what's more important, that like the recognition of that holiday as a national holiday or Father's Day? And I was like, well, Father's Day is more important, frankly, because we need more fathers. But
listen, wouldn't the slaves, shouldn't they have earned their freedom?
Matt, what were you
revisit this, right?
I was thinking we should celebrate Juneteenth with the performances of Song of the South, the old movie.
Yes.
Break
it out of the Disney vault.
Yes. I love that movie.
And Mandingo tournaments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Mandingo.
On my shoulder.
Hey, here's a term that I don't know if it's still like if it's banned or if it's frowned upon or what, but I was walking out of work today and I kid you not, there was a crazy homeless guy in the alley right where our back door is to the office, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs. I could hear him from inside the building. He's like, "Fuck you, cocksuckers!" And he's just saying that over and over. And I'm like, wow, is that a term that people don't use anymore? Or is it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. The show Deadwood tried to bring that back in a big way, and it just never stuck. The show Deadwood.
The show Deadwood. Yeah, because I don't know. I'm just telling you, this homeless guy was bringing it back big time. Because
like if you've never watched the show Deadwood, it's a great show. But the word cocksucker comes out like like every show probably 30 times.
You know what's the best bad show? Like so bad it's great ever is Spartacus on Stars.
That was the first season of that was solid.
Oh my god. And then like it actually kind of won me back in future seasons, even though rest in peace. I think his name was Andy Whitfield.
The dude died. The main character died.
Yeah, between seasons, but he was awesome.
Yeah, he was
as
sweet.
Spartacus, and the new guy was never nearly as good. What?
I think he got like some severe form of cancer that he died like in months.
He was like in his 30s.
Yeah, he was like super young, and like I didn't realize this had happened because I wasn't like tracking that stuff. So then when the second season came out, I was like, oh, this is a good show. And I put it on, and I was like, this guy looks different. Like he looked very similar to him, but I was like, something's different about this guy. He definitely wasn't as good as the original, but
yeah,
it was a good show.
But that show was like, it was just blood and tits. Like that was what it was. It basically took like whatever your mom thought Game of Thrones was when it was at its heyday is what Spartacus was in terms of just like every scene was either a brutal graphic fight scene or a brutal graphic sex scene or both at the same time. But the dialogue, me and my cousin who used to love that show will just like still sometimes will say they spoke in this like, you know, the Hollywood English Roman, like the English accent.
Like
probably
English,
we've just all been like, oh
like
yeah,
Shakespearean like Roman. Yeah.
So they would speak in these very like hoity-toity Roman epic, Lord of the Rings style epitaphs and everything. And one of them said, what they would say, they had gems in every episode, but the one that still sticks out is these senators would be talking mad shit to each other in the Roman Senate. And I think it was Batiatus said, words fall from your mouth like shit from ass. It's like,
that is a very profound statement.
Oh it sounds like Bob Guccione's Caligula movie.
Yeah, you know what? It was like Caligula. It was basically, just not. There were some dicks, I think, but not as many.
I think there were. There were.
I was going to say there were no dicks, but there were some dicks. But yeah, words fall from your mouth like shit from ass. There were some other gems, I'm sure, but
that's pretty good.
Yeah. Are we still banned on YouTube? Because we could just bring it up.
No, we're back. We're back.
We're back, baby. We're back.
Well, we were.
Yeah, we'll bring it back. We can play that at the end for our outro if you want.
But it's a good show. I would recommend watching it. Hide the kids. Hide
a true story of
a
slave leading a slave revolt against
genuinely
Roman.
Great fight scenes. Lots of boobies, and
they should like when they name the film like Spartacus. Tits and ass. That's what they should actually like put as the name of the show.
I think it was called like Spartacus Blood and Sand.
Blood and
Sand,
yeah.
It was like Spartacus Tits and Ass.
And a couple of dicks.
What saved them is after the main character died, the main actor died, they were like trying to reconvene and go, do we keep doing this? Do we do season 2, 3, or whatever? And what they did in the interim was a prequel season about the gladiators, because it's all about Spartacus and the gladiators, and eventually leading to his rebellion. But they do a prequel season about the other gladiators that were already in, like on this squad before Spartacus got there, and they introduce a new character, Gannicus, who the actor, I think it was an Australian guy, I don't remember who, but he was awesome. So it was the rare case of them pivoting to this prequel that all their fans knew the prequel was just buying time to try to figure out what to do with the main character. And the one-off character in the prequel was so popular that in season 2, when they recast Spartacus, they were like, and Gannicus is back, that guy that you thought died in the prequel season, and nobody mentioned him at all in season 1. And I think all the fan base was like, we accept this de facto main character in season 2 because we all kind of understand what's going on here.
The circumstances, yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah, they would just jarringly shift from a dialogue scene into a graphic sex scene with no lead up, like less lead up than you would see on Brazers.
Game of Thrones looked like some Mickey Mouse bullshit compared to that show. That show was like softcore porn with like some brutal graphic violence in it.
Yeah,
they in Caligula they intercut porn scenes right into what scenes that like John Gielgud thought it was a serious Roman movie, and they just cut like people screwing behind the curtain. You know,
those were crazy times, Matt. I mean, you know, you were there, right? You were in the Senate. You understand what it was like.
Wow, that's really rude. How dare you? That's ageism right there, BB.
Respect your elders.
No, I'm saying because he's such
I can handle it. I love
scholar.
Yeah, I love being a fossil.
It's kind of the only the last ism we haven't really, exploited. So
that's true. Maybe we should lean into that a little more.
Yeah.
Also, plenty of white slaves in Spartacus. So we
went
through it too.
All white slaves, really. But
yeah,
I mean, talking about the Irish, though.
I was just saying that you talking about Irish.
When do we get our reparations?
So there's Irish.
Never.
We did,
never.
John. It's
you
called
never
We
get
Won. We took everything. That's my favorite line is at the very beginning of The Departed when Jack Nicholson's character says, if I got one thing against the black chappies, it's this. Nobody gives it to you. You got to take it. Because before that, it's all like relating the Irish struggle in Boston with the black struggle, which was essentially identical. The difference being that Irish people decided to just take over Boston and black people decided to just whine for 100 years and remain on welfare and or join the government to oppress white people.
So you're back on the slavery was good thing? Because I temporarily
Did I get off of that?
Well, I temporarily dissuaded you on stage on DPH at Deadwood, if you recall.
Did you? I forget.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's when I cracked the whip and you're like, slavery was bad. Now thanks.
Oh, yeah. I said it. That just doesn't seem as fun now. Quite a sad.
I think Ty and JC ended up with that whip, by the way. Drake.
Yeah. Heartstop gave it to him. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Surprised they didn't pull it out while they're here in Bismarck.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. We don't know what kind of freaky shit you guys were up to there.
I feel like I would have heard it because the room they're in is right next to my office. So I don't know.
Oh man,
it's pretty
They
loud.
were in the panic room.
We should get one more sponsor in here quick, and then have any of you guys watched any of the Charlie Kirk stuff or Tyler Robinson stuff?
I didn't know what was happening. That's how
I haven't watched it, but
I've caught some of like the discussion points, but I haven't like watched anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. I was hoping Alpha would be here because I had questions for him. I know he's all in.
Yeah,
so
he's
I
all
hear
in.
correctly that Alpha is saying unironically that the central narrative of the Charlie Kirk assassination is not only 100% true, but that it is irresponsible to question it?
I don't know about the irresponsible to question it part.
Okay.
But
I don't think so. I think Alpha's keeping an open mind, but
I heard he wasn't, though. I did hear that he's all in on Tyler Robinson did it.
Yeah, but I think that's just because that's probably like all the evidence that's being presented right now.
Well, so
what evidence?
There's as I understand it, there's a controversy out there right now.
Can we do the ad before we get into this discussion?
Yeah, do the ad,
and then we'll come back with Ghost, and you bring up what you're about to say. We got Rumble Wallet. Make sure that's going here. All right, quick question. How much control do you have over your money right now? Technology has changed everything, and now it's changing how money works. Crypto started as a niche, but now it's going mainstream with faster payments, more control, fewer middlemen. And this isn't just hype, it's where things are going. And getting started today is easier than you think. With Rumble Wallet, you can buy Bitcoin, hold dollar-backed stablecoins, even own digital gold backed by real gold, all in one place. And it's non-custodial crypto wallet, which means you, not a bank or a platform, controls access to your funds. Setup is simple. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your debit card, credit card, or bank account and be up and running in minutes. For a limited time, you can start your wallet with a free $10 in US stablecoin by downloading the Rumble Wallet and entering the exclusive promo code OnlyLands10 when you sign up now. You can even use your Rumble Wallet to support your favorite Rumble creators like us here at Badlands directly. So do this now. Scan that QR code, click the link in the description, or go to wallet.rumble.com/onlylands and download Rumble Wallet. And again, you get free $10 in US stablecoin with promo code OnlyLands10. It's a limited time offer. Act now. Take control of your money and get started with Rumble Wallet today. All right, Ghost. What were you going to say?
Charlie Kirk.
Ghost.
Ghost frozen? Ghost is frozen.
What's going on with Ghost over there? Well, you guys want to see me make an old fashioned? I can show you how.
No.
I'm glad you're making an old fashioned. I thought you didn't realize we're still on the air. You're going to go Jeffrey Tubin on us.
Intensely staring.
I think he's
That's
frozen.
after the show, Jay.
Oh, no, he's gone.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Life's away, you know?
First, I got to go get the cherries. Let's just take a second.
Take your time.
Hey,
Oh, look at that awesome pipe stand back there.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is a cool pipe
I haven't
stand.
shown that on the air.
I wish I would have gotten a cool pipe stand like that.
I know.
I specifically asked
You
for
didn't ask where to get one and then have me just say I'll make you one.
So, John
Hey,
Drake.
Drake, where would I get a pipe stand like that?
I think many people know that Drake made me a custom handmade replica of Gandalf's pipe, from which his love of the halfling's leaf.
Okay, Ghost is back, so I'd rather listen to him whenever he loads in. There he is. What's up, Ghost? What were you saying?
What's up? Okay, so I think that there's like what are you doing here? There you go.
I was messing around. I was trying to get BB to stop talking about Lord of the Rings stuff.
Oh, I should have put a magnet in the
Drake
bottom of
made
that
this
thing.
You'll
with
never
his hands.
stop him.
That is really
And
cool.
I have this thing. I don't know what this thing is, but Drake told me, but I don't.
It's a tamper and
Pipe cleaner?
It's a pipe tamper.
yeah, it's for cleaning it out after you're done smoking and for tamping. Like I should have put a magnet.
So
I didn't
you
even think
made
about that in the bottom of the stand to hold that in place. That's a good idea.
Take this off and go.
Well, now mine will be better than his.
Yeah.
So yeah, my computer's spurred out, so I gotta pull up and crash. So I gotta pull up this CanCon post. Okay, so apparently there's like a controversy. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of controversies with this case, but people are saying that there is a video that exists of this kid like pulling the trigger. That's like the rumor that's going around the internet, but that doesn't actually appear to be true. I don't know either way, but I have the clip here that we can play of the judge interrogating. I assume this is the prosecutor about this. So we'll watch that and then we'll see what it is.
Yeah, because it's like Jack Posobiec and Benny Johnson are the ones that are like posting super emotional videos about how hard it was to watch him pull the trigger.
The male lesbian.
But they said earlier on that they didn't have evidence of him pulling the trigger. Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Jack Posobiec is posting some weird stuff.
Is there any footage of the alleged shooting?
There is not, Judge.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. Ms. Nestor, given that additional information and anything further from defense?
No, but I think I'd like to be crystal clear. You asked if there's any portion of this video that captures, and I believe you asked of the actual shooting. There's no video of that. There is video, however, and you've heard testimony related to this, where the shooter goes to the top of the low-C building, goes out to the edge of the building, low crawls, and then leaves after what we assume is the shot being fired. That's as close as it gets.
Is there?
Yeah, so apparently there are people like Jack Posobiec and others who are
You
posting.
should pull those videos up, or I can pull them up.
Yeah. See if you can find them. Where they're saying that there are that there's an actual video of Tyler Robinson pulling the trigger, and that appears to be a complete lie because that is obviously not the case. And whatever videos are, so I'll read what CanCon posted. CanCon's been covering this like every minute of this all week. He says, to be fair, as pointed out by Alpha and Viva today, this clip before a long objection is talking about the videos the court is about to see. This doesn't necessarily imply the shot video exists. There has never been a public release of the shot. The judge was going to release it this morning per his order yesterday, but he retroactively rescinded that order after he disallowed all exhibits from being displayed to the public with his ruling this morning. Now all we have is the word of the people in the courtroom, and we are getting conflicting reports on that. Personally, I find it hard to believe that grainy-ass footage from a long way away is going to credibly confirm a shot, but who knows? So, yeah, this whole thing's a shit show. This whole thing has been a total shit show, it seems like. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure the clip is from. Let me show you the angle here, because there's that one video that everybody was talking about. Where did I saw it just a second ago? This surveillance footage.
Share your screen.
Share my screen here. Okay, so
yes, that was 3 different bottles of Angostura bitters for the chat.
Because apparently it's from this camera, and they just like zoom in. Okay, but the way that Jack Posobiec describes it, and the way that Benny Johnson describes it, is quite different. Let's listen to that.
I think everything's been proven. I think it's proven. It's, I would say, beyond probable cause at this point. I think that the question for me is how do you even get reasonable doubt when there's so much evidence? But the thing that I do just have to say is that I know that you guys watching on live stream couldn't see the last video that was shown. Well, it wasn't edited. It was.
Which, by the way, something interesting is they were allowed to show all these exhibits and stuff, and then somebody got in trouble, something happened, and so today was the first day that they weren't allowed to like live stream stuff. Like, really? So what are the odds of that? And then as soon as that order gets put out there, and we could play the video from CanCon where he plays that too.
Okay. Yeah,
we'll play that afterwards, but yeah, I'll keep playing.
It was zoomed in from the surveillance video off campus, and specifically the part of the Losi Center, the roof, and you see everything. You see everything. He climbs over, he assembles the gun, he runs over to the edge, gets down in a prone position, and you see the time, and we all know what time, and it was like so slow, just watching those seconds click, 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 and then you see him take the shot, and he takes the shot, and then immediately runs. And we've seen that video already, but I knew we were going to watch that, but I wasn't prepared to see this side of what happened because we've never seen it before. We saw the other end of the shot, obviously, but this was a whole other level of just evil, and I got very upset watching it, and obviously the family was very hard for them to watch, and I looked over and I saw Tyler wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking. See what he did. And I would just say that I do wish the public could see that. I hope that video was made public, not because I want it to happen. I didn't want any of this to happen. I hate all of this. I hate being here. But people need to see what happened. People need to see the other side of this, because this is a case. We need to see the truth. We need to see the facts. And it's the video of the sniper taking a shot. It is exactly what you think it would look like, but it's one of the hardest things I've ever had to watch, probably since the initial, when this happened, the first video.
There you go.
Yeah. How is that more disturbing to him than the other side of that video? Because the other side of that video is the disturbing part.
Yeah, I thought that was I thought the other side was a pretty disturbing video. But the thing that bothers me about what all these guys have been doing since this all happened, having been someone who's actually been in the situation of being a victim of a murder where you're like part of the family, is that they've all been talking about this as if they've been going and sitting down with the prosecution team and being shown all the evidence. And that's just bullshit. There's a 0% chance that the prosecution team, especially on a case this high profile, has shared their planned strategy and their case with anybody. Maybe even not even the family. Like the family probably has been shown some stuff, but the case is high profile. There's just no way that they would be like bringing in all these TPUSA guys and all of Charlie's friends and being like, oh yeah, like here's all the stuff we have. Here's everything. Make sure you go out and talk about it on X and talk about it online. And these guys have been posting about this for months, being like, if you've seen the evidence that I've seen, you would bullshit, dude. There is no way these guys have seen the sensitive evidence that they are going to be presenting in court. That's just not the way it goes down. So that's what's bothered me with the way that I know they're lying about some of this stuff. They definitely are misrepresenting and have been misrepresenting what they've seen and what they know exists.
Yeah.
What bothers me about it, and Chris Paul talked about this a lot in relation to Erica Kirk, which people, I think it took them about a year to stop flaming us for, is just the baseline of Posobiec acting in that clip. No matter what, and I don't really care if people get upset about it. Jack Posobiec is a total piece of shit in my mind. And I mean, the guy claimed that he knew Q and everything. Remember that little thing? And the
Bindergate.
Bindergate. I mean, he is a social media whore, a professional social media whore. That's what he does. And I'm saying, even if what he is saying is true, people don't talk like that. People don't like what he's doing in that clip is pantomiming what he thinks the expectation is of his audience to him seeing that information or those videos. It's farming attention, it's farming engagement, and it's disgusting. I mean, regardless of all the rest of this stuff, that's what I focus on. Like the dramatic pauses. Will you shut the fuck up, man? And it's OnlyLands, so I can swear. It's so gross. It's so disconcerting. And the reason I bring up Chris in relation to Erica Kirk, and people can think whatever they want about this crap. If you've ever run into a psychopath or a sociopath, you know what they look like. You know what real emotion looks like, and you know what fake emotion looks like. And that is the latter, in my view. So it just immediately casts doubt into everything else, along with the fact that the incentive structure of the current social media landscape, including the monetized internet culture, is such that getting on board with one side of the central narrative is incentivized. And,
Agreed.
Is Posobiec going to make more money or less by questioning this narrative to his audience? And you can take that wherever you want to take that. I'm not going to give you an answer to that. But if you look at that video and think, to me, it's obviously just my opinion, but I just think there's a lot of disturbing behavior from the people supposedly closest to Charlie Kirk about all this stuff. It's extremely performative and it's extremely gross.
Yeah. Here's another one that's much the same. From Benny Johnson.
Of course, the other
wife.
The other guy.
We're outside
of lesbian.
We're house here in Utah. The Charlie Kirk preliminary murder trial just wrapped. We were there and witnessed everything. And you have to hear this because it was devastating what we watched. And the judge ruled that you can't see the high definition quality video 4K of Tyler Robinson committing the murder of Charlie Kirk. But we saw it, and they played it on giant screens inside of the courthouse. You can see clearly Tyler Robinson's face. You can see crystal clear the license plate number on his vehicle, his movements on the rooftop. You can time it up to when Charlie Kirk was murdered. And what you also couldn't see was what happened inside of the courthouse. Erica Kirk was sobbing in the arms of her mother-in-law, Charlie's mother, Mrs. Kirk.
She had sparklers.
Tyler Robinson, pale, sallow, bony, emaciated, staring at the floor the whole time, twitching and looking straight ahead, refuses to watch the video, refused to make eye contact with the family. Emotional day. The judge played all 20 minutes of the high definition security footage, and the whole courthouse gasped when it was over. It was really tough to watch. The prosecution has a demonstrable, overwhelming case. They said that multiple times. The defense has nothing. They asked minutiae questions about DNA evidence, but the judge was just chewing them along as we get to this 4K video reveal that will eventually be made public, it's already a case that is overwhelming against Tyler Robinson. But once you see this video, you will cast out all of the demons that have been attacking the Kirk family. It has been one of the most grotesque demonic evils that have been visited upon innocent people has happened to this beautiful family. Once you see all of the evidence that we saw today, it's over. And that's what the lawyers said today. Please pray. Erica Kirk asked us to do this. Pray for a speedy trial. We have a right to a speedy trial here. It's in our Constitution. We don't have to wait years in order to get to a trial phase here. We want justice to be done. Justice has to be done in this case and done immediately. So please pray for the Kirks. They've been through enough. Time for justice for the widow. And just a word to all the Christians out there. The Bible calls us in the Old Testament, the New Testament, to defend the widow, to defend the orphans, to provide for her, and to stand up for her. And so be a Christian today, be upright. Please.
It's like Mad Libs.
Ridiculous.
Okay, let me jump in. Yeah, let me jump in here and just clarify some things because I have firsthand experience with everything that's happening right here. First of all, when he says we have a right, you actually have no rights. As a victim, you have zero rights. Nothing in the Bill of Rights, nothing in the Constitution extends to victims of crimes. That is a fact. You can go look it up. Many states have passed a victim's Bill of Rights, but even in the most aggressive versions of those bills, the extent to them is you have the right to be informed of when court dates are, and you have the right to be consulted or to be informed of when a plea deal is on the table. That's it. You
can give an impact statement too, can't you?
You can do an impact statement after they have been after there is a conviction at the sentencing hearing. You can do an impact statement. That's it. That is the extent of your rights as a victim. You have no other rights. All of the rights are afforded to the accused. So you have no right to a speedy trial. You have no right to any of that. Now, the accused can demand a speedy trial and say, I want to be tried in 45 days. And they do have the right to that. But you have no right to a speedy trial. So we have to clarify that. Now, as far as what Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec are doing here, this is insane because Benny Johnson, I just checked, has 4.1 million followers. Jack Posobiec has 3.2 million followers. So if we are to believe that they have actually gone and met with the prosecution team, which I've seen Jack Posobiec say, I've seen that a lot of these guys say this stuff, that we've gone and met with them and they've shown us the evidence. If that were true, then Tyler Robinson is going to get off on a technicality. He's going to get off on the fact, if he gets convicted, he will get off on appeal because there's no way he's going to get a fair trial. If the prosecution team is showing evidence to guys who have 3 million followers, 4 million followers, and then they're turning around and going online and being like, look how awful this is. This is so bad. I've seen the evidence. Just trust me, bro. It's bad. He's guilty. He's the guy. You got to say he's guilty if you're on the jury. The other thing I'll say is this thing that's happening this week is not the trial. This is the preliminary hearing to determine which evidence is going to be shown to a jury when we get to a trial. The way Benny Johnson's talking about it is like as if we are already in the trial and they're going back and forth. All they're doing is arguing, can this be shown to the jury? Can this be shown to the jury? Can that be shown to the jury? So they're totally misrepresenting everything that's happening. And even what they're doing right here, where Benny Johnson's going out and posting online to millions of people and saying how awful this is and how guilty he is, that might be enough to get the kid off on because the whole thing, like, there's no way he's getting a fair trial now with this being broadcast to millions of people on the internet.
Yeah, well, and that's my big issue here is I don't know whether he's guilty or innocent. I don't have a bone in this fight. I don't care. Is it dog in this fight or bone in this fight? I don't remember.
A dog.
Yeah.
Dog in the
fight. I don't have a dog or a bone or anything in this
your
fight.
dog doesn't have
you
a bone.
didn't throw a bone to the dogs that are fighting in the fight.
Yeah,
I
didn't even
got
do
what
that.
you were doing.
You guys got what I was throwing down.
Yeah.
But like the fundamental right here of anybody being accused of anything is you are innocent until proven guilty. Like that's the fundamental core belief of our justice system.
Except we allow hung juries, which is a complete and utter destruction of that in concept.
Yeah. But these people are out here they're not doing that. These are supposed to be people who are they will oftentimes present themselves as conservatives and constitutionalists and whatnot. And they're out here just totally shitting all over the Constitution and what it actually stands for. Even if he is guilty, that's the thing. Even if he actually did commit the crime, that is not how the system works. It's not what the Constitution intended. It's ridiculous.
Now, if you go a little further into conspiracy world,
how dare
is
you?
Is
Why
this
would
the
you do
same Jack Posobiec that Steve Bannon informed his audience was not allowing Steve Bannon to discuss fake elections?
That was Charlie Kirk.
No, it wasn't. I think it was.
It was Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Was it Charlie Kirk?
It was Charlie Kirk who was not allowing Steve Bannon to discuss fake elections.
Yes. Yeah. That was Charlie Kirk.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, put down the old fashioned. Bernie Bright. Put down the old fashioned.
Yeah, I've got coffee too. The old
Okay, well, never mind. Pick it back up.
you gotta, alternate. I think it's worth paying attention, or it's worth considering. Psyops go every which way, and it's always just worth considering what if this is some kind of disinformation op being layered over what is happening, in court with Tyler Robinson. What would be the goals of it? You gotta, because I think people sometimes emotionally react and they're like, oh my God, they're informing people, and you're saying that you're besmirching Charlie Kirk's death, and you're saying Tyler Robinson didn't do it. I don't care if Tyler Robinson did it. Like, if Tyler Robinson did do it, if he did pull the trigger, to me that still doesn't answer what happened to Charlie Kirk, right? Like, could we kind of agree on that?
Yeah.
I think that's where this is like saying Lee Harvey Oswald, like whether or not Lee Harvey Oswald shot John F. Kennedy is completely irrelevant aside from a mechanistic point of view. The real question is who wanted Charlie Kirk dead and who put into motion the mechanistic events to cause the death of Charlie Kirk, right? Just like when a world leader declares a war, people don't really focus on the soldiers that fight the other soldiers in the war or who is piloting the B-52. They focus on the leader who declares war on a country, right? So first of all, even if every single thing these two lesbians are saying about Tyler Robinson is true, 100% true, which it might be, it is still a psyop because it's clearly an attempt to end the story at Tyler Robinson. That is what they are trying to do. They are trying to say, look no further. We are your weapons of narrative justice. We are going to deliver unto you, our 7 million combined followers, catharsis. And then anybody who tries to go further beyond that catharsis that we have already delivered unto you, they will be disrupting that catharsis. And that's why I think people get so bogged down. Who did, what happened, who pulled the trigger, what's this video say? First of all, I know it's like old hat. We're in 2026. If you've played around with ChatGPT or Grok or Gemini or anything for 10 minutes, the idea of video evidence online or on Twitter being disclosed to anybody should immediately be discounted by every single person in this audience. It is not only irrelevant, it is less relevant than it has ever been in the history of mankind. Photographic or video evidence. Completely irrelevant. Because even if you say, oh, we have forensic ways of figuring this out. No. You have experts who will tell you they have used those forensic methods to deliver unto you what they say the truth is of these videos. So I kind of think the psyop here is not about whether or not Jack Posobiec and Benny Johnson are telling the truth. Let's assume they are. The real question is, why are they so adamant about only talking about Tyler Robinson and not maybe anything else that might be going on around him or beyond him?
100%. And the real thing for me too is the real tell is the so just ridiculous pulling of the emotional heartstrings. This is the worst video I've ever seen, like really more than Charlie with blood squirting out of his neck, like seeing a guy from a million miles away on a rooftop. That's more traumatic than seeing the blood spurting. But so it just right there, your red flags go up immediately if you have any clue, and you go, okay, what are they trying to accomplish here? And I think you nailed it, BB. And I'm not sure why, but it's just, we need to end this. It's Tyler Robinson. Don't look any further. Nothing else to see here.
Yeah.
And that's disturbing. I'm like you guys. I don't have any say in it. I don't know. I don't really care. I'm more interested in and who wanted him dead.
Yes.
Who would be behind this? I just don't buy the lone gunman, theory ever since Kennedy. I just gotta think that's out the window. But but just this emotional, tug on the emotional. They know how human nature is, and people are very stupid and vulnerable to this emotional heartstring tugging. You cannot question it once you get the emotions involved.
We've had somebody on this network at a time who would do that, cry on stream and get a bunch of sympathy and support, and people fell for it, even though it was all bullshit. Like, it works. But I do have that clip of
it does work.
Bannon talking about how Charlie Kirk wouldn't let him talk election fraud. Maybe we don't want to play that. I don't know. But I don't know, man. I did want to play this clip from earlier too. This is conveniently right before they played the most compelling video at any point in the trial or whatever, right? That everybody's talking about. This is what the judge said.
The constitutional rights of Mr. Robinson and Ms. Kirk are paramount. Although transparency in judicial proceedings is a fundamental interest, it must be balanced against the constitutional rights of all parties. Having considered the arguments presented by counsel and having reviewed the events that occurred yesterday, the court finds that its order prohibiting the publication or broadcast of Exhibit 16 by the media camera was violated. The court agrees with defense. This constituted a violation of the court's order. Compliance with court orders is essential in all proceedings and is of particular importance given the nature of these proceedings. With respect to defense's request as a sanction that the court reverse its ruling on defense motion 305, motion to exclude cameras, the request is respectfully denied. The analysis underlying the court's prior ruling remains unchanged, and the court adheres to its reasoning and conclusions. With respects to the defense's alternative request as a sanction to prohibit all cameras and electronic equipment from today's proceedings, thereby preventing the electronic capture of the proceedings for those inside and outside of the courtroom, the request is granted in part and denied in part. Effective immediately, members of the media shall no longer capture or broadcast any exhibits displayed by the parties during today's proceedings. The court finds this sanction to be proportional and appropriate in light of the violation of the court's prior order. The court reserves this sanction as it relates to September 1st. It is not before the court. There has not been a request for electronic media coverage, and the court won't issue a pre-ruling. When it comes, when that request has been filed and all the deadlines which the court has imposed in regards to the MC filing are in place, if motions are filed, the court will entertain motions in brief argument ahead of the September 1st hearing and address it at that time. This is the ruling. Wow. Thank you.
Yes, I just think it is interesting timing how like that happens, and then that trial, I'm pretty sure, I know for sure it was the first day Benny Johnson was there. It may have been the first day Jack was there, but I'm not 100% confident on that. But then that's also the same day that they showed the most compelling video evidence we've seen, and they're both on social media afterwards talking about how compelling it was and all these things, and he's so guilty, all these things. The same day that the judge says you can no longer show any of the exhibits, so now none of us get to see it.
Yeah,
John,
we do get to see it. We'll get to see it in the trial, but I think, I mean,
for now though,
just to play devil's advocate here, this was a request from the defense, not the prosecution. The defense wanted this to be kept off the internet, and I think from their perspective, because people like Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec are going to take whatever is shared, whatever the prosecution shares, and then they're going to spin it and twist it up and be like, look how guilty he is. And, and then, you're now again, like, I think that muddies the jury pool. Any prosecution team is going to look at Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec and say, shut the fuck up, guys. Like, you're ruining everything. Stop posting, stop talking about it. Everyone keep your head down, your mouth shut, and we'll put this guy in prison or give him a death sentence or whatever it is. That's the psyop to me. The fact that the prosecution team hasn't told all these people to shut up. That's the psyop.
Such a good point, Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, the other, I kind of lean. I think that's good to bring up. I kind of lean in the other direction when John's talking about the timing there of saying, the funny thing is, all the followers of these social media influencers and journalists, so-called journalists covering these proceedings, They think, oh, these guys we're following, they are trying to share with us all the information they can share with us, right? But cui bono, who benefits when the court is gatekeeping that information from the public? It's these guys, because then you become the literal definition of a gatekeeper. You basically become a court mandated gatekeeper. The irony, like, just to play devil's advocate to your devil's advocate ghost, the irony of that is, in trying to reduce the impact of these social media gatekeepers to the court, you have basically made it so that the only way that people can engage with the so-called evidence that's being presented is through the framing of these guys who are there.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, John.
Oh, yeah.
Of just saying that, like, it amplifies the power of a Posobiec, of a Benny Johnson, and it amplifies it in two ways. Obviously, the first way is people don't have access to this information in the public, so they need to go to an interpretation of it provided to them by these guys. The other thing it does is it allows these guys to basically play martyrs and say, like, they get narrative shielding. They can say, well, we were going to show you guys all this stuff, but we can't show it to you anymore. So now you just have to listen to me paraphrase it. And I don't know, like John said, it's just the timing of it. And again, the defense you point out, Ghost, I think that's entirely logical. But if you start playing hypothetical games of what is the intention of these proceedings, is there something behind these proceedings? Is there something behind the narrative construction of this entire Tyler Robinson op that both sides are entirely read in on? That might explain why, you know, some sides of the case are making somewhat irrational moves.
I don't know. Great points. Oh, Drake's back. He said he lost power.
Yeah, thunderstorm.
You do look like
my dad over at your
power
house?
levels lower.
He brought
the whole saw.
entire saw with him this time.
Did you have any thoughts on this? Because I know you're kind of our resident Spooner
He loves
jury
courts.
trial expert.
He loves these kind of trials.
Well,
love trials.
I mean, my basic answer is that anyone on a jury ever should vote not guilty because of the way that judges curate evidence and arguments and like the whole thing. I mean, you start pulling on the thread of what's wrong with the legal system, and nothing about our system is good. We have the shell of it still. You know, it's called trial by jury, but yeah, people should go into that and just automatically vote not guilty because the way the whole thing is bastardized. But that's kind of the standard road answer. I haven't been following the case at all. It's like it zero interest to me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I've only
same
followed
here.
what I've seen on CanCon's profile a little bit.
Yeah, but like, how are they going to find people? Because when they come to jury selection, they're like, the questions are going to be, have you heard anything about the case? Have you been exposed to anything online, anything whatsoever, whether it's Candace Owen or Jack Posobiec? And if the answer is yes, you're out of here. So how you have to go to the Amish community, like people who aren't on the internet, to find like jurors. I mean, it's going to be very difficult. And so
Chris
that's
Paul ends up on the jury. Chris Paul's the only one without a Twitter.
Chris Paul on the jury. I actually would advocate for that. I think I think the script writer should figure out a way to get Chris Paul subpoenaed to be on this jury.
Well, even the voir dire process of trying to get the whole idea behind it is you want to get an unbiased jury. There's no such thing as an unbiased person. Like you're never going to find a pure quote unquote jury, which is why we should just go back to what it used to be, which was literally just randomly selecting 12 people, and that's who you've got. Unless there's a clear conflict of interest, like it happens to be the accused mother or something like that, or their brother.
Right.
Otherwise, the whole idea of pure random, this goes back to what the purpose of the entire trial by jury system actually is, which is the people executing the law. End of story. That's why they get to decide whether or not the law is even worth enforcing. But what we have today is we have the court dictating to people what they can and can't do. And it's not their court, it's our court, because we're supposed to be the people with the power. But that's not the way it's set up. And when you go through the history of how that was destroyed, It wasn't destroyed through, like, when you read through Spooner, it's like logical argument after logical argument after logical argument. And then you read the guy that single-handedly destroyed trial by jury in this country, Joseph Story, Supreme Court Justice in the 1800s. And he just goes, nope, that's it. They don't have that power anymore. No argument, nothing. Just rips it away. And we just went along with it. It's really disgusting.
There's so many things that you could say the same thing about in this country, like something totally unconstitutional. We just went along with it.
Like Fresh and Fit, which right now has...
That's pretty constitutional looking right now.
I would say gassed up mids, except mids is strong. Strong language.
The host itself is a gassed up mid.
This is the Friday night crew.
It's the cheerleader effect.
What are we doing here? We've got like a Samoan over here. Like, we got resting duck face. We got duck face. We got duck face. We got something going on here.
No job.
Is that the I Fight Their Kids guy?
This is what Rumble's trying to do. This is what Rumble's chasing.
That's why we're pushing YouTube so hard, guys.
We got a bunch of, like, you know, racially ambiguous, Moroccan-ish kind of show hosts rolling in a bunch of 3 and 4s, gassing them up on Friday night to wake up the normies. What are we doing?
We are waking up the normies with.
What are we doing, guys? What do they talk about? Anyway,
I don't know. We can listen to it,
Fresh and
but
Fit watch.
Don't really care.
You guys watching the World Cup?
I pronounce it that way.
Yeah.
I'm torn.
You
Watch
pronounce it like a
Spain beat
Canadian
Belgium
would.
today.
Yeah. I've been on that Norway Erling Holland bandwagon since day one, and I'm here to see it, bro.
Is that dude with, like, he's the blonde hair and ponytail?
Yeah.
He's a cowboy in his shorts, which looks sort of gay. Somebody should have told him that looks gay, but
well, he's European, so you can expect him to understand the cowboy aesthetic, but
he can pull it off.
If they would get rid of the flopping in soccer, I'd be willing to watch it more.
The other thing too to make soccer better as an outsider looking in is just what's with the running clock. Like, you're just making conspiracy theorists out, like, oh look, the ref was just letting it run. You know, it's well
I had a
past
whole
the
post about
bonus
that
time
like
and
a
all
week
that.
ago during the
Did
U.S.
you?
game.
Yeah, just stop the freaking clock when
the
the
it
ball's
goes on
out
as long as the
play,
ref.
you know.
It's like, let's see this play out.
Right.
Let's
You
see
could
where
have
this is
buzzer
going.
beaters in soccer, which would be cool. We have them in basketball. We have them in football. Like, just, you know, like, let's improve the game. Make it accessible to logical people like
I
us.
saw somebody say they should have like boards along the side, like in hockey and soccer, and that would make it more entertaining.
I feel like we're like
encourage the fighting. Yeah.
I feel like we're watching like gay sex and being like, how many rules can we add to this to make it less gay?
I never watched Gay Sex, Bernie Bright, so I'm not sure. But I'm
we
glad
add
we have your
so
expert
many
opinion.
rules. We're like, what if you like made it so they couldn't do any butt stuff? You're like, okay, that's a start. That's a start. I got you. I'm listening. And then like rule number 62, you're like, what if in future gay sex sports there couldn't be 2 guys? There would have to be a guy and a girl. And they could only do this. And then you get to the point where you're just like, wait a second.
I hear you. What you're saying
We're watching
is
Fresh and Fit. What is this?
soccer by
watching Fresh and
definition
Fit,
soccer by definition is gay, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I'm saying,
basically,
Jay.
like, you
And like, you know,
cannot change it.
there are lots of gay things in sports, and I know the soccer is gay argument is tired to soccer people, but like it is. I was at a 4th of July cookout, and you know, one of the locals was trying to get me into it. He was like, well, you know, it's this, and I was like, man, look at this. Just look at it.
Yeah,
It's kind of
It's the flopping.
Flopping
It's the-
around like they got shot with a rifle.
That's
you
it.
know, and it's like,
And you're like, well,
somebody
he's playing
kicked you
for
in the
time.
shin, dude, and you have
Yeah.
shin guards on. Like, it didn't even touch your shin. Like you.
Well, and to kick
know
the
what's-
air around the shins, that's even worse.
Oh yeah. It's just right. Not even make
John,
contact
I
and
texted
flop
you a
around.
picture.
What's
should
worse
be-
about it though, Jay, is that there are sports, like there are people who watch the NBA, you know, blacks, who when the players go down, they are in on it, like they act like, or rather they're not in on it, I should say. They act like, oh my God, like LeBron just got elbowed in the face, holy shit. And like, cause like if you've ever seen them in the wild, like that's how they act. Like if anybody does anything to them, they act like they've been shot. They act like, unless they do get shot, then they get real dramatic about that too. But going back to soccer, the reason I hate it the most, even compared to the NBA, is that the guy at the cookout was explaining to me that they're playing for time. So in other words, everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone watching knows what they're doing. Everyone on the field knows what's going on. And I'm like, no, man, you're explaining the why they are being super gay. I understand why, but you could just make it so they can't do that. And that's why soccer is hopeless in terms of, I think, catching on with, I think if soccer catches on more and more with Americans, it's a really bad sign for our society, because that's like the only sport where the people who like it are in on the fakeness of it. It's like WWE fans, Ghost and I talk about it from the perspective of storytelling. But have you ever met like a World Wrestling fan who really is into it? Like, that's disturbing. Because, and UFC fans used to be so disturbed by these people because they're like, you start talking to these people about the storylines and like this match, and you get to the point with some of them where you're like, could we just break for a second? You do know it's fake, right? Are you aware that it's fake? Because you're talking about it in a way that I'm not sure if you're aware. And when they get upset by that, that's when you know you've got one of the wrestling crazies. And I feel like that's happening a little bit with the World Cup, where you're like, you do know it's the worst thing ever, right? Like, it's so gay and nothing happened to that guy. And they'll just sort of be like, well, I do get that, but I love it anyway.
Well, the problem is that the world glorifies victimhood. Like, they all think that like flailing around on the ground and acting like a huge pussy is like that's gamesmanship. That's gamesmanship. But when you watch the Americans play, the Americans pop right back up as soon as they get tackled, because they know that they're going to be ridiculed in America. Like, they know the entire world's watching, all of America's watching, and we are going to ridicule them and destroy them online if they act like a pussy on the pitch. So don't act like a pussy, and we won't call you a pussy. But if you act like a pussy, we're going to call you a pussy. And the problem is that people just don't do that anymore. Like, they don't call these Europeans out for flailing around like a little faggot on the field. And if we did, and we did ridicule them, maybe the Europeans would start acting like that big blonde guy and less like,
Does he ridicule people? Because the players need to do a Ghost. That could change things.
Exactly.
Like, yes. Because I think it's good.
Locker room talk, bro.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's all gay, but I've seen this Viking guy going viral and like seems cool. So that's an in. Like, that's a potential where you're like, dude, that guy needs to call this stuff out. The American players need to be like, get up, you bitch, on the field.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the referees, because I've actually like voiced my complaint. They said, no, that actually is a rule. Like, you can get a yellow card for faking it. And I'm like, well, I've never seen anybody get a yellow card, and they're faking it literally like every couple of minutes. Somebody's down, writhing in pain, flopping around like a fish out of water. It's absolutely ludicrous. And I can't get past it. That's the problem. Like, my friend, I watch some of these soccer games, and I'll watch it every 4 years just to have something to talk about with people. But she's really into it. She watches English Premier League all the time. And I brought up my complaints. I said, this is ridiculous, the flopping, and then the thing with the clock. I said, there's too much power for the referee to just magically blow the whistle, whatever they feel like it, to end the game. And I said, it just leads to questions. And she's like, would you just get over it and just enjoy the game? And I'm like, I can't.
That's what it is. They're in on it. They're in on it, Jay. Like, soccer fans are helping the fakeness. They're perpetuating it.
Right.
Because the purpose of a soccer game is not to determine the better team. The purpose is to settle wages between princes.
And by the way, they settle games that go
peasants. The players are peasants.
Overtime by like
the referees are the government.
The kid who won the gold medal for the USA hockey team did so by after he got his front teeth knocked out. Then he went and he scored the winning goal. That is what people want to watch. People don't want to watch these little fairies rolling around on the ground holding their knee when they didn't even get touched. So
and Ghost, that's a microcosm of that happening so recently is a microcosm of like the cuckification of the rest of the world in light of the U.S., where people are like, oh, the U.S. lost this soccer game.
Yes.
Meanwhile, it's like, and
Yes.
again, I'm a hockey guy. I know John's a hockey guy. And it's like, that was the, just if for anybody that's not a hockey fan, I know that the announcers told you this on TV, but that on paper, that Canadian hockey team genuinely might be the greatest collection of talent we've ever seen on one field of play in a sport ever assembled. Like, on paper, that Canadian hockey team was just, you've got like,
I don't know, wasn't there a basketball team back in the day with like Jordan, Kobe?
the dream team.
Yeah, the
There
dream
was a
team.
dream team, the first.
But basically, but that's a good
Chill
analogy.
out talking Canadian sports teams, Bernie, right?
I'm saying relative to the sport, but I mean, that's basically, that shows though the American, like how big that was, and to Ghost's point, the manner in which they did it. Like the mainstream global story coming out of the Olympics with the US men's hockey team winning was basically that they weren't as good as the Canadian team, but it was like pretty much without saying it, it was because they were American that they won. Like they're tougher, they cared more, they played harder, and they played as a team where the Canadians didn't, which is such a cliche, but it's like that microcosm, then applying it to what's going on in soccer, where you're like, what am I supposed to feel about the country that wins the soccer tournament?
This is, but you hit on it right there. Like, this is what I said at Gart. The reason that America is the most important country, and if America falls, the world falls, like as Q said, it's not because of our military. It's not because of our economy. It's not because of any of that. It's because of our culture. Because every other culture in the world has been domesticated to some extent. Even the East, where you know they haven't done the whole woke DEI pussification stuff, they still, to a certain degree, are domesticated because they don't have the sovereign mindset that we do, that's embedded in us. And if we lose that, then the entire world becomes enslaved. And that's why we have to lead we have to be at the tip of the spear in doing exactly what G Money's talking about. When G Money talks about the things that he talks about, he's 100% right when he talks about the domestication of our culture, of our people, and how we've all become pussies. He's 100% right. That is exactly what's happening to us.
And you know what's cool is that Donald Trump had a freaking octagon on the White House lawn with modern day gladiators fighting to the death practically. And that was how we celebrated our 250th anniversary. I love that. And I love that, like football, American football, you know, we not only appreciate the violence of it, but we get very angry when they make rules to like protect the quarterback and whatnot. Like I'm all for
Absolutely. Our football rules are like a constitution that have to be followed, you know. We sit there and debate stuff in a way. The rest of the world's only catching up to that with their video replay, but they'll never be like us. We are American football playing people. The white and black races are the football playing races. You know, foundational black Americans and foundational white Americans. And the Irish too. We're the football playing races.
We're not big enough.
We're not like the races of the World Cup are totally weird. Like the French team is really a French empire team from like the Victorian era with its coverage of Black Africa. You know, it's and then you have these countries that are some of the last ones in Europe that are like actually reflect the ethnicity of that nation. Most of them don't anymore. They reflect, you know, really the globalist version of imperialism, which is instead of ruling the third world, white people ruling it for, you know, by direct administration, we just bring all those people to Europe and they become part of that existing nation, you know. And it's so soccer is that's what the most fascinating thing about the tournament to me is you get an X-ray of that, of how what they're trying to tell us about the racial demographic and narrative of the world right now. It's laid out so perfectly.
What country was it that said they asked them why they didn't have any black players on their team?
Argentina.
Because we're not a Disney movie.
Yes.
Nobody said
Argentina.
Now,
it
Matt,
was like an Italian country. They're like
you wouldn't be saying that Folarin Balogun is not representative of the U.S. image, right? Like you wouldn't be trying to point that out, right?
We have a weird system where like we have the foreign players that can technically play for us, and they wouldn't be able to start in their country where they were raised, like
literally an anchor baby.
It's the one benefit of the anchor baby system, and we still suck.
No, see, I think of it differently, especially because we lost. Like, was Donald Trump trying, if we're going to play 5D chess, was Donald Trump trying to be like, go America for Faloran baloney, like clearly not American. Sorry, everybody. Just
game, so I don't think
not what's going on.
It's okay, baby.
But it just looks, it looked ridiculous. Like the whole world is calling it out, just being like, besides the red card thing, like that guy became the representative of Team USA. And to Matt's point, like it's ridiculous. I mean, when you look at this crap, you're right, even though I make all my jokes about the blacks and everything. When you're talking about American football, like, an American black person and a white black person. And the NFL is full of them. Like, that these people are American blacks and American whites. They're Midwest white dudes, Southern white dudes, and they're Southern black dudes and East Coast city black dudes. Like, that's who plays American football. You turn on the World Cup, they are not Americans. They are not Europeans. They are Africans. They are all fucking Africans.
All of them. Look at the entire French team. They're all African immigrants.
They have African accents.
Second Empire period. In
they
France
have right. There. They look African. They act African. They have African names. They have African accents. Many of them don't speak the languages of the teams they are representing. And it's like, again, I keep using the word cuck, like cuckification, but it's like, look at this. If you're France, or you're the U.S. and you're cheering for Faloran Balogun to win you a turn, what are you doing? You're like watching your wife get dicked down by a Ugandan or some shit, or a Moroccan or whatever the hell he is, and it's like that's what it is. It's not, even if you win, you're being humiliated. Where meanwhile you watch these other sports, and to your point, Jay, with the UFC, like Trump has clearly aligned himself with the UFC for a reason. Yep. He's aligned himself with the UFC because of what it represents. And what it represents is the best thing, that Max Kellerman ever said was every other sport, including hockey even, is a metaphor for what fighting just is. It just is. There is an American man and there is a Spanish man standing in the cage. Those two men are going to compete with one another, and one of them is going to win. And like, we know which one of them is American, and we know which one of them is not. And these things
rearranged.
Yeah.
And ironically, I mean, Georges St. Pierre is my favorite fighter of all time, and he's a French Canadian. But one of the cool things about it is that there was no bones made about that. It's like Georges St. Pierre came out to the octagon wearing a Canadian flag, draped in a Canadian flag, and fought for that country. So it's kind of like what the World Cup pretends to be.
Does anybody else want to say something before BB totally takes over the show?
You're the one always complaining I'm not on OnlyLands, man. Then you complain when I am. Why don't you pick a lane?
I do think you should participate more, but I don't think you should take over the shows and talk for 10-minute rants with 6 people on.
It was a good rant.
Time the rant after the show.
It was a good rant. His rants are always good. That's not the point. But Drake, what were you about to say?
That UFC fight was awesome. I enjoyed that.
Was that really that guy's last fight? And doesn't McGregor fight tomorrow or something?
He does.
Oh, that's tomorrow?
You think he's gonna win? No, I just said stop talking so much, and I'm asking if he's gonna win.
That's usually what you do on Wednesday night, John. That's usually a thing. I talk for 5 minutes, and then John asks me a question.
Yeah.
You know what? I have psyop. This happens to longtime MMA fans where we psyop ourselves the night before the fight into being like, I think he can win, because the classic wisdom right now is McGregor's been out for a long time, and also no fighter has ever won after coming back from a compound fracture. You might think that's not a common thing. I mean, it's not a common thing, but it's actually happened quite a few times in the UFC. And Conor's last fight was a compound fracture years ago. So that's tough. Just not being in there really against like that level of competition. Hell, Ilia Topuria, I said the night that Drake was on the, and Drake and Ghost were on the White House stream, I said Ilia Topuria, the biggest disadvantage for him going into this fight against Gaethje is that he hasn't fought in 12 months. Conor McGregor hasn't fought in 5 years, something like that. So
has anybody successfully run for president of Ireland and won a fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he technically run? I think he announced he was going to.
They banned him from running.
Yeah.
Did they ban him?
Yeah.
Everything I've heard, and this is actually the world I do have inside sources in. I actually know McGregor's coach. And for everything that I have been told and everything that is in the zeitgeist in MMA right now is that McGregor looks amazing in training camp, is off all the stuff, the drugs, all that kind of stuff, the alcohol, and was sleeping in the gym. People say that as a metaphor, but literally was sleeping in the gym for the last 6 months. So he's probably just about the best version of 37-year-old haven't fought in 5 years McGregor you could get. What we're gonna see in the first round is how does he deal with getting hit for the first time in 5 years? Because Max Holloway has been in there against the top guys like consistently, and these two actually fought in Boston, I believe, like 12
when
years
is that
ago.
fight? That's tomorrow. Oh,
That's
yeah.
tomorrow. Yeah. So it should be interesting. I mean, it's very compelling. If McGregor wins, though, you have just set up like a stratospheric super fight between him and the one contender he didn't fight from his same era, which is Justin Gaethje, who is now the unlikely champion.
Wasn't that the guy that just said he was done fighting?
They're done fighting, John, until a dump truck of Conor McGregor money shows up.
Correct.
And the UFC says, like, Justin, you know that thing you said? What if we give you $30 million to do one fight? Because that's what they would probably offer him.
They call that the Brett Favre retirement plan.
That's about what it would take to get me in the ring. So,
and I think Justin knows what he's doing. You say in the media, I think I'm done. That might be my last one. He's starting negotiations for this hypothetical fight anyway. So Gaethje is the one who's going to be on the edge of his seat rooting for McGregor to win that fight more than anybody.
He's already spent the money, probably. Going back to soccer, there's we can't play it now if we want to get kicked off of YouTube, but The Simpsons way back in the day trolled soccer. It was pretty funny. I put the link
so funny. Where they're just kicking the ball back and forth.
Yeah, I put the link in the studio.
Did we show that? Didn't we show that on OnlyLands a couple weeks ago? Maybe.
We probably did.
I was gifted a membership.
Drake.
You remember?
Oh no. And it was one. That's like an extra. You were singled out.
I still reserve the right to contest that theory.
Okay, I'm gonna read one Donald Trump Truth Social post, and then we're gonna do rants and stuff and get out of here. Okay. This is gonna set up tomorrow night's Power Hour because we're back on the verge of total destruction, civilization ending probably. 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands of more to immediately follow. I don't think that sentence makes sense.
Nope.
With thousands of more to immediately follow. Should the Iranian government act on its threat pronounced in many corners of the globe to assassinate or attempt to assassinate the sitting president of the United States of America, in this case, me, orders have already been given, and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able for a 1-year period of time, subject to extension, to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. Praise be to Allah.
God, I love it.
Technically the Christian Arabic word for God.
The mad lad. John, we might have got the softest boop ever directly following that by Trump.
What is it?
And this is so soft, I might not even call it a boop. He said, I was able to cut a much better deal for America, and by so doing, we'll be allowing the new and spectacular Gordie Howe International Bridge, spanning Detroit and Windsor, Ontario, to open July 27th. He's talking about an ice hockey legend.
Yes.
Gordie Howe, and we talked about hockey tonight. So
a bridge to Canada.
I can't allow it as the leading Q promoter, adjacent person.
Yeah,
I'm not going to allow that boop.
I'd like to withdraw my boop submission.
But my favorite was when Trump said, when Trump posted "Praise be to Allah" on Easter. That was pretty funny.
Oh,
that was mimetic as hell.
He's like, screw you, Christian boomers.
yeah.
Koala.
Yeah. And the operation apparently is called Operation Bitch Slap. That's how you know it's really serious, is because it's called Operation Bitch Slap.
Is that serious? Is that for real?
Slap, apparently.
No way.
Yeah. And then
go. Hold on, Ghost. Is that a serious thing?
Yeah. It's called Operation Bitch Slap. Go look it up. It's called Operation.
Then Commander in Chief definitely
I mean, this is very real. And by the way, the whole assassination thing, and this is Mossad coming out and saying, "Hey, Iran's going to kill you." In the official narrative of that, the U.S. officials are saying we haven't validated any of this. We haven't gone and looked into any of this intelligence, and we weren't tracking any of this before you said something. So Mossad is obviously making all this shit up. Trump kicked all this off though on Wednesday when he did his press conference with NATO, and he was asked by somebody. One of the reporters asked him, "Are you worried about getting assassinated by Iran?" And his response was, 5% of all presidents are murdered. He's like, that's higher than race car drivers. It's higher than bungee jumpers, higher than all the other sports, all the other extreme activities. You're a really good reporter. Had you told me this before I ran for president, I would have never run for president if I had known that one in 20 presidents are killed. That's what kicked off the whole assassination thing. He started this whole news cycle narrative, and then he calls it Operation Bitch Slap. I mean, but then he also says, yeah, but we're still negotiating with them. We're still going to meet with them next week in wherever they meet in Switzerland.
But the ceasefire is over. There's more.
The ceasefire is 100% over.
There's more to it though, because of the plane. It started with him posting about not taking his new plane and taking the old one. Then it went to the media questions and him saying, I'm obviously at the top of the list. Everybody's going to assassinate me, and what you said. And then it happened to be the story came out afterwards that Israel gave them intelligence that Iran was trying to negotiate. And in the middle there, Trump started bombing the crap out of them. And now he's like, yeah, ceasefire is over, but we'll still negotiate. Operation Bitch Slap. That's so funny. It's not an official, it's an internal nickname, but still hilarious.
We have to play this.
The leaders are gone. They had leaders, they're gone. And they had another set of leaders, they're gone. Now they have another set of leaders, they may be gone. Who knows? And you know what? I may be gone too, because I'm their number one target.
We're not playing around this time.
The House of Representatives.
Oh my gosh, dude. The cornrows are classic.
Well, I mentioned at the start of the show the Atlantic was mentioning Schrodinger's war, the war that is not a war, which is my first Iran article was, when is a war not a war? But this is part of the humiliation ritual, I think, where I really think Trump and Iran are joint deploying this narrative. And it almost at this point feels like a game of chicken of how long are people going to pretend it's real? We were saying this 4 months ago. How long are truthers, in particular, going to pretend, very gravely analyze a war that is not real? And for the people that have been doing that the entire time, right now, with it called Operation Bitch Slap or whatever, do you feel more or less serious in your very serious analysis of this kind of thing?
Depends what kind of slap. Is it an open-handed slap or a backhanded bitch slap? Which one?
Kind of like a pimp slap, I feel like.
Yeah, like a pimp.
That's a backhanded, right?
It's like a soccer slap.
It's like a Sharia slap. It's the way you would slap a woman who's wearing what are they called? Burkinas or whatever.
Burqa.
Well, don't they do that with just like a blade and kill them?
No, you don't even have to slap those ones, Ghost. You just raise the hand and they go, oh, that's what they do.
Okay,
it's the Western woman that you actually got to lay hands on them every once
On
in a
that
while.
note, let's go to
as real Mrs. Bright is highlighted.
Snowcat Operator gifted a sub. Thank you so much. The final, and by the way, please note that Ray Reberhart was gifted one because I think he leaves a Rumble rant later saying oh, I'm a sub. I've always been a sub. I don't know. The final demand gifted 5 subs. Totally exposing the Abby Free, Bebo 316, Trini Lynn, Farm Gal Nana, and D DeNovelis as not already being subs. We probably should confirm if being gifted a sub is only for people who weren't subs previously.
I think it
so
is.
we're not like calling out subscribers already. But anyway, Grease Monkey gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much. DWV, Miss Schwartz, G Fontes 119. That one was surprising to me. Real Miss Bright. Honestly, that one was not surprising to me.
That's true. She'll expense you for it if she does get a sub.
Yeah, no kidding. Then G Fontes 119 gifted a sub. I've seen him gift subs a lot, so it is surprising that he wasn't already one.
Oh yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, Yasman 19 gifted a sub. Lisa Poncho.
There's a couple holes in the theory, but I think we should stand by it until something definitive comes to replace it. That's how the science works.
Until everybody's a sub.
Right.
But anyway, Rosalinda gifted a sub. Mike's Miss 321. Keith O'Higgins says gift subs are just like herpes, the gift that keeps on giving. Then here's Reber Hart trying to offer an explanation. I'm a paid Rumble Premium subscriber. Is that what you're referencing as a subscriber? It doesn't show on my post, but I pay the annual premium.
It doesn't
Did
count.
You do it through Badlands? Does it?
She has the red tower, so I mean, she's seen
now.
Or
See,
he?
that's-
Are we
Gifted
assuming
a
this is a
sub
woman?
earlier?
Maybe they
They got a
subscribe
sub.
not through the Badlands promo code.
They got
Could
a
that
sub.
be it?
It's probably that they were in June, like you said earlier, Ghost, because of the month changing.
Yeah.
I bet that's what it is.
Keith
So they've
O'Higgins
only
says
been open betrayal for 10 days.
Keith O'Higgins says, I'm surprised Burning Bright's dad didn't send him to the store for a glory hole saw.
How dare you. I did find most of the stuff at the store, and let me tell you, the employees at Home Depot don't know anything.
John, check your text. Ash says.
Also, BB, next time text me with your question. I will give you the answer so that you can sound smart to your dad.
That was just like a language issue right there, because it was a perfect
Whatever
storm.
the issue is, I will help you iron it out.
So just standing in the store, I've got Grok. By the way, Grok and my dad argued today, and my dad was right. So AI is
That's
not quite
awesome.
there. I
That's
actually
awesome.
had, because my dad couldn't, he was like, this isn't, I'm getting no power here. This should be electrocuting the shit out of me, and it's not. And he kept touching it to see if
With
it would
his hand?
electrocute him. Yeah. Yeah. He was like, I'm not getting any shocks. There's no current here. I'm like, well, Dad, what if you do start getting current? You're touching
They
the
make
live
tools
wire.
for that, you know.
No, he was just grabbing it.
You can measure it.
But Grok was like, no.
Just
It
grab
wouldn't
it.
have flipped the breaker because of this, and that. My dad was like, Grok's retarded. That doesn't make any sense. So I literally videoed my dad and sent a video of his argument to Grok, and Grok had a whole response. Then we called my brother-in-law, who's a human electrician, and he said my dad was right.
I'm glad you
That's a
clarified he was a
big
human
win for
electrician.
Yeah.
Yeah, big win for the boomers. Big win for the boomers. Beat the
It
AI.
was
That's
big.
a big win for the boomers.
Big
That's
loss
like,
for Grok today.
What's the old story of the whoever against the machine? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Henry?
Rage
Well,
Against the Machine.
John Henry. John Henry. Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yep. It's John Henry
Henry
versus the machine. Yeah. Bernie Bright's dad versus Grok.
Versus the
Yeah.
machine. Keith Higgins says 6 fingers makes one hell of a shocker. Tainted love.
Oh God, Keith.
Love it, Keith.
It all makes
No
sense.
kid
Also,
operator.
good villain in Princess Bride.
What was that?
Makes a good villain in Princess Bride.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think of that. It's such a good movie.
Count
Have you guys
Rugen.
done Princess Bride yet
Six
on
Finger
Story
Man.
Hour?
Oh, yeah. We did it some time ago.
No. I don't watch a show.
You got to
so.
do Galaxy Quest soon, though.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
you
brought
do.
up in Cart. That is such a good movie.
Once the splice is made secure and correct, power should return to the kitchen outlet immediately in most cases. The outlet itself doesn't need resetting because it's a standard outlet with no reset button, and the breaker is already on and never tripped. Here's the detailed breakdown.
This
Is that your
what
dad
my
or the-
was on. No, that's
machine?
Grok.
Did
I
he
was trying to get it to
like,
read.
behind the wall, or did use a junction box, or what happened there?
No, there's no fucking junction box in there, man. We just threw some insulation on that. But there's a lot of electrical tape on
Drywall
it.
covers a multitude of sins. I will say that.
There's a lot of electrical tape, and we did use those twisty things.
The wire nuts.
Yes.
The wire nuts. You put some wire nuts on it. All right.
We use those twisty
Right.
things. My dad even said, as he was laying the insulation back over the bathroom near where my son sleeps, we should have junction boxes here, but I see this all the time.
Yeah, That's because of.
And you don't have fire to like smoke alarms in your house.
Oh, I
correct?
do. I just don't change the batteries, but they're all
Technically,
hardwired.
Yeah,
My dad cut the wiring, so
yeah.
I mean,
man. Miss Bright, don't come home. Just stay in Canada.
Dude, such a dad move. I love it.
Well, even my brother-in-law, who is the electrician, was like, "You should have junction boxes, but like, you actually don't need them." And I was like, "Why did you encourage that?"
Splice right, that's true, but the idea is also you're not supposed to put a junction box behind a wall because if something goes bad,
It was on a floor. It was in the floor.
Well, it shouldn't be covered up at all because if something goes wrong, if you're trying to troubleshoot that, and there's some random junction box hiding somewhere that you can't get access to, then it's kind of like, well.
Oh yeah, these people put it under a tub in a floor.
Oh my gosh,
brilliant.
Sounds like a good place.
Well, actually, they didn't. My dad did. Now, I'm actually blaming them for something they didn't do. My dad cut the wire, so now there should be junction boxes under the tub.
You would be surprised how many times I've seen water pipes run over top of like circuit breakers. Like people go and install water pipes and they're running along the wall right over top of circuit breakers. It's like, oh wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Snowcat Operator gifted another subscription to Rookie Irish. Kind of surprised by that one too. Keith O'Higgins, great economic theory, burning bright. Can't wait for the one world order and global banking system to be controlled by the International House of Pancakes. Love it.
Maybe
Thomas Times became a monthly supporter. Thank you so much.
On his own, didn't even need to be gifted anything.
The Android app doesn't appear to allow renewing Rumble subscription. Might want to tell them to fix that. Had to use my computer browser for it. Man, there's so many people bringing that up.
The app is regressing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I was supposed to have a Zoom call with one of their tech guys today, but we ended up rescheduling it. What was that?
But it was
like, why doesn't this work?
So I'm sorry, taking screenshots.
A Rumble Zoom that stopped working.
Yeah, funny. Rookie Irish, this will be more when my reparations come through. Thank you.
Jedwin in the chat says wire nuts and electrical tape are typically okay.
Typically, you're fine, man.
You're good.
Keith O'Higgins, I heard Cinemax was going to have 2 sexy Roman shows. Glad he ate her and glad she blew him.
And Ghost, the water pipe isn't over the new circuits. It's near them, though.
Yeah, well, it's
because it is a tub.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. I'm talking about the like I've seen it where you have the supply line and then you have literally water stains on the wall going down towards the electrical panel, and it's like
condensation on them.
This is no, I'm talking about where all like the source where all the electrical wires go back to. It's like this is where all of your electricity is coming into your house, and people ran water supply lines over it, and it's like this is a fire just waiting to happen.
Keith O'Higgins, I heard Cinemax was I just read that one. Royce McGill 78 Alpha has a 2-part perspective on the Kirk hearing. One is a former cop. The evidence is the evidence. 2, he's all about exposing Candace Owens. Interesting. Buck Wayne, all you leaders of free thinking need to stop cutting your hair. You obey conventional laws imposed on you. Hair is a functioning organ, an antenna to detect bullshit. You've been lied to. What? By the way, I'm growing out my mullet, so joke's on you.
Jokes on you.
I'm just growing my hair straight out. It's all. I'm just letting it all go.
I'm only going to. My future haircuts are all going to be to just cut the sides here. I'm going to let it grow out the back. Zach said he's going to do it with me, but he bitched out, so I have to grow it out just to prove he's a bitch.
Zach hasn't once worn the jacket that he bought and then convinced me to buy one in the same set, and we were supposed to wear them together.
So your Eye of the Tiger
and doesn't do it.
Yeah.
No fault.
Does he have a tiger one too, or is his different?
No, his is the scorpion from Drive.
Yeah.
Why would he not wear that?
I don't know. He'd look great in it.
I need to get him a Hawaiian shirt judge's robe.
Judge's
That's
robe.
perfect. He was so good. You can tell he just ate that up. Like, how much do you think he was? How often do you think he's going into character with Lisa these days?
That was
declare.
We'll ask him.
Are we going to put all that as one video? I know that was mentioned, but I can't remember who mentioned that. Like the whole trial by jury thing. Is that going to end up getting spliced as one video?
Oh, I mean, we could.
We should.
Sounds like a lot of work, but I mean, we could.
Well, you have people that are paid for that, right? You told me earlier.
That's true.
Have my dad do it since he's the new Gronk.
He can splice.
He can splice. Yeah.
He did actually have a perfect splice. My mom came
know?
over and brought us steak and cheese subs. So he was like, "How's it going, guys?" And it wasn't going good at that point in time.
Was your dad swearing?
Yeah. But he like there was blood on the floor because he was cutting his hands on the wires. There was all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
Oh man.
If you haven't bled, you haven't done it right.
But my mom, she we're out on the deck.
bury the
We're
lead
like,
there.
let's, we've learned after being like beaten as children, like just go out onto the deck. Dad's, dealing with something right now. And went outside and she was like, I know that this is stressful, but I will say your brother-in-law said that when he looked at your dad's splices in our house, he said they were expertly done. So I was like, okay, Mom, that sounds
So you have
great.
that going for you.
Yeah.
Max Southwest Patriot says Tyler Robinson is boring because you don't see the keystone. Brinks and Minifig is all connected. Send me a link, John. I think he was trying to get on the show, and no. But thank you for the $17. Keto Higgins, what's up with these people trying to get Tyler Robinson off? Wasn't that Lance Twig's job? Damn. Thomas Time 76. If they kept this 4K conclusive video from the public, that's messed up. That made this whole feud between influencers exponentially worse. Which is surprising.
How can we believe
because
it if it's not 8K at least?
Yeah, but I mean, but again, if the goal is to prosecute the kid, if we're taking them at their word, this is an earnest prosecution. You don't put that out for the trial, because then the defense can say you've now muddied the waters and this kid can't get a fair trial, and you got to let him off now. So,
Mac SW Patriot says 100% correct, Drake. Not sure what you were saying.
It was
at the
100%
time.
correct.
Then
Everything
said,
you say, Drake, is
exactly right.
Just in general.
And then he says again, you're missing the 40,000 foot view with Robinson and Kirk.
Oh, we're missing the 4K view.
I mean, are you talking about Israel's involvement? Because nobody's denying that, but it's just that's what we were getting.
They
at.
are denying that though by pushing the Robinson thing. I feel like.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, obviously Israel benefited the most. So,
Mac SW Patriot, I just read that one. The final man, the U.S. men's hockey win was so big, the director of the FBI drank beers in the locker room, put POTUS on speaker, and told them they would fly via military to the White House. That will never happen again.
Yep.
Touche. Miss Rio Freedom Fighter gifted a subscription to J Drake 83.
I maintain.
Whoa! Was that John Drake? This Drake?
Mm-hmm.
I object.
We get the dunce cap out.
Kind of pussy who puts junction boxes under the floor.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
We raw dog that shit up here.
Matt Ash 1776 says Matt says McGregor won't make it out of the first round. Is that his prediction? Or is
He's calling his shot?
Sounds like this. They sound like fighting words. I think we need to get a wager going here, BB. You and Matt need to have a wager.
McGregor round 2 TKO.
Okay.
He gets knocked out.
Please respond,
Nope,
Matt.
he wins.
And
It's
let's
too
put
bad
something
this
on
is,
the table that we can make fun, like we can have fun with. Not money, something else that will be entertaining for the
If
rest
you
of us.
lose, Matt, you have to remain married to Ash.
No deal.
It's too bad this is right before DPH, because you should do another watch party.
Here's the thing, though. Is Matt a little bitch like CanCon? Is he going to try to twist the deal on prediction after the fact? That's the. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
I don't
He
think
seems
so.
Like
I don't
solid.
think so. I got faith.
Even
in
if
that.
McGregor loses, it is highly unlikely to be in the first round. Max Holloway is very talented. He is not known for his power.
Ash said that Matt says it's going to last 2 to 3 minutes.
Well, he's retired.
Was he talking about the fight, or was he talking about something else?
How many Max Holloway fights has Matt?
Literally, that's what she said, though. Ash just said it in the chat.
Max's average fight time is more than 20 minutes, which is more than the average time for a regulation fight in the UFC.
It's a long time.
He's also thrown the most strikes in UFC history, which sounds impressive, except it means that when you hit other guys, they don't fall down a lot.
Okay, well, for those who care, BB's saying lots of really interesting things, I'm sure. Found the Man says BB should do a UFC live stream like the White House event. McGregor isn't coming back to lose, so he's going to bring everything he has left. What's left, we will see tomorrow night. No left hand pun intended. You should do a stream of that tomorrow. You're gonna be doing. You're gonna be sitting there watching it anyway.
I've got my bathroom torn apart. My dad's probably gonna ruin other stuff, and I got my brother coming down.
There's loose wires exposed.
Are you going to be watching the fight?
Maybe I'll just like do the stream from my phone, and like we'll walk up to the bathroom, see what my dad's doing, and back and forth between that and the fights.
Just do it, man. Do it.
Yeah, we don't actually show the fight, and then you can just talk about how emotional it was and how traumatic it was for you to watch. And
I can't show you the fight, but I assure you, this happened. Thomas Time 76. BB, my son was born last fall. I nominate you to name the new generation of our boys are launching.
I can name your son.
I think
you haven't named him yet.
The whole generation.
The generation.
Like Generation Z, call him something. Generation.
Generation G.
Generation G.
Gen G.
That's it.
Ash says, John, check text before you end the show, and I did. And it looks like we have a Josh Reed appearance going to Colorado for a meetup. So you guys can go join Josh Reed, Ash, and the other Mountain States Badlanders.
Fed Watch back on, right back on, Ash.
The meetup is underneath
a honey pot at all.
Yeah, I see the All C9 there. Who made this poster? But go to badlandsmedia.tv and slash groups. And if you're living in Colorado, want to go hang out with Ash and Josh and the other Mountain States Badlanders, probably be a good time.
So
1 p.m. for lunch on July 19th.
I see the walking figure at the bottom of the advertisement. Does that mean they're going to be actually exploring underneath the airport? Are they going to try to?
Sounds like it, right? Like they're
following lunch. We'll enjoy a walking tour with Josh as our tour guide.
Is this a tour of the airport?
Is he been there?
I think so, right? The secrets beneath Denver International Airport.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot to see.
12-hour tour.
Wow.
Josh can make it a 12-hour tour.
That'll be fun. Yeah,
you have to get through TSA.
Oh. Interesting stuff. But yeah, check that out, guys. Badlandsmedia.tv/groups. If you're in Colorado, search for the Mountain States Badlanders group. Gfontes 119. I've cut it 3 times already, and it's still too short.
That's what she said.
Then Hammer Guy 35. Best show ever tonight. I wish BB was allowed to talk more.
Thanks, man.
Love you guys. He is being sarcastic. That's awesome.
I don't know. We don't know that.
Yes, I do. He's in my chat every day. That guy, this is amazing. Love Hammer Guy. So funny. All right. BB, you said you had an outro video for us earlier. Do you still?
Oh no. Hold on. Let me see if I can very quickly spin one up.
No, it was something we were talking about. There's like, oh, we're gonna get kicked off YouTube.
It was something with ass and tits.
No, I don't think it was that one.
There's a
shit falling out of the ass.
5-minute version of this. Here, it's Batiat. There we go.
Okay,
all right,
YouTube,
John.
we're gonna say goodbye to you right now. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. We love you over there. Appreciate you guys.
Love you.
I hope my favorite line is in this, guys.